Warrington Wolves versus Huddersfield Giants. Claire Balding has coverage of the Challenge Cup semi-final at 5:15, but now on BBC Two and the HD channel, live golf, the final round of the Scottish Open.
Hello again from the Scottish Highlands on a windy testing file day of this Aberdeen Asset Management Scottish Open Championship. Now, so close to the Olympics, there is much talk about legacy. And here today, by the Moray Firth, perhaps the idea of legacy and of following in the golfing pitch marks of trailblazers of the past, maybe in the minds of our leading contenders. So can Luke Donald become the first Englishman since, well, Luke Donald to claim this title, and in the process the first golfer ever to successfully defend the Scottish Open title? How about Phil Mickelson as the first American winner of this event since Tom Lehman in 1997? Alex Noren's doing his bit for the Swedes 6 years after Johan Edfors won at Loch Lomond. And how these crowds would love to bridge the gap between Colin Montgomerie, the last winner for Scotland in '99, Peter Whiteford, Mark Warren and Martin Laird are all in the hunt. Memories of Thomas Bjorn's win in '96 will surely spur on fellow Danes Søren Kjeldsen and Anders Hansen. But our leader, Francesco Molinari, has his sights on becoming the first Italian since his brother Edoardo 2 years ago to claim the Scottish Open title. Over the next few hours, someone is going to create their own memorable golfing legacy. But with 33 players within 5 shots of the lead, who it'll be is anyone's guess.
Yes, this overnight leaderboard was jam-packed with contenders who all feel they've got a real chance of cashing the £400,000 plus cheque. Francesco Molinari's in pole position, as he has been all week. Slender one-shot advantage over Anders Hansen. Then comes another Dane, Kjeldsen at 15 under, and the first of 3 prominently placed Scots, Mark Warren. The others, Laird and Whiteford, in that group 3 shots back with the ever-dangerous Phil Mickelson, whose late decision to interrupt a family holiday to be here could prove to be an inspired one. Defending champion Luke Donald is still in the hunt at 13 under. In fact, there's 24 players, at least, who all still fancy their chances given the ultra-low scoring that we know is possible on this golf course. Mind you, conditions very different today. And I've got a former Scottish Open champion with me myself, Ken Brown. Welcome. Ken, we talk about ultra-low scores here, but I've also mentioned conditions. Without question, the most challenging of the week. What is making it so tricky for everyone today?
Well, there's these heavy scudding showers that keep coming through, plus the wind is blowing 15 to 20 miles an hour, sometimes a few gusts harder than that. And from the early starters, it's 3.5 shots more difficult than it was yesterday. So it's a very tough day, particularly the opening holes into the breeze. It's easier to run up a couple of big numbers. So it's going to be a tough day for scoring. Anyone breaking par will be quite pleased. Great
tune-up for the Open, because the long-term weather forecast there is not great, we have to say. But what score in that case do you think is going to win this title today?
Well, I think anyone sitting in the clubhouse at 18 under would say, well, I think I've got a chance, no doubt about it. So that's a reasonable score. Anyone getting to 20, I would say, is an almost lock, unless the wind dies down. It's amazing here, over the days, it has sort of picked up and dropped down, but the forecast actually is for it to get a little bit stronger. So it's a tough old brutal course out there.
Absolutely. Best of the day, Miguel Angel Jimenez, 68. He was first out at 7:10 this morning, literally ran round the course. In fact, he beat the officials into the scorer's hut. He is well gone, I'm sure, off to Lytham. But let's update you with some of the key pairings this afternoon. Well, the defending champion Luke Donald teed off at 12:15 in the company of Spain's Pablo Larrazabal. Really watchable pairing, this one, a real crowd puller, with Phil Mickelson out with a man he knows very well from the US Tour, Scotland's Martin Laird. Søren Kjeldsen, Mark Warren are happy to team up again after spurring one another on to 264s yesterday, both pursuing the last Open qualifying spot on offer today. And 1:02 was the call time for the last pairing out on the course. Anders Hansen and Francesco Molinari. He's led from the start, but will he by day's end? Well, those two are well into their rounds. We've been following everyone on the red button already, but let's update you with the significant events. Scotland's Mark Warren knows what it takes to win at home. Did so at Gleneagles 6 years ago, finding his touch again. Warren 16 under, great start at the first from the Scot. Well, India's Jeevmilkha Singh has had a quiet couple of seasons too, injury accounting for some of the problems, but pushing hard for a third tour win here. That was his fourth birdie in the opening 6 holes, and he too just a shot off the lead. Mark Warren's dream start then continued at the second, had played his approach at the long par 5 beautifully and had that for a share of Molinari's lead, watched by wife Laura and the in-laws today. And then Jeev joined the party at the top when he turned for home, picking up his 5th shot of the day here at the 10th, and the highly respected Indian golfer firmly in the mix, also at 17 under. So plenty of movement so far on the leaderboards, and much of it from the likes of Jeev and Mark Warren. Matt Baldwin, I should tell you, 5 under for his round, is the man from Southport, plays at Royal Birkdale, has already qualified for the Open, did so at international final qualifying, so he's tuning up very nicely this week and still is posting a very good target for everyone to follow. Henrik Stenson had 3 birdies in a row and he hasn't made it to the Open as yet, so much to play for, not least for the title itself, but obviously that real scrap for the last Open place. So we'll watch it all from the beauty of our little hilltop studio here. We'll be able to see the squalls rolling in, and of course the action as it heats up with Andrew Cotter and Peter Alliss. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to you all at home, and very different conditions here today than we've seen the previous 3 days. I'm here with Andrew, and of course he's Scottish, from Troon. They've been known to get a bit of wind over there, but it's a hard day here.
Yeah, it is. It is much better. I mean, it's the way it should be. It's the way we've wanted it to be, and also the direction's changed as well. The first 6 holes far more difficult, but this is the way the course was designed to be played. Perhaps not with the rain, but with the wind certainly. So I think these players will appreciate the challenge a bit more, especially those going down to Lytham, because they'll want to get into the feel of it all.
I'm always rather dubious when people, like I say, the players will welcome the challenge. I think they'd like to play in shirt-sleeve order with not a breath of wind, with lovely holding greens and driving the ball miles and warm, affectionate crowds urging them on.
Well, they certainly don't want to get beaten up by the course this week, those who are going and playing next week. They don't want to lose their swing in really excessive winds, but a bit of something. Mickelson certainly was calling for it.
I tell you what, I wouldn't mind rushing out and having 5 bob on Milkha Singh at this moment. He's played 11 holes, he's had another birdie starting home, and well, he's from a great sporting family, and who knows, for those of you at home over the next few hours, there'll be much to watch and prepare for next week's great championship at Royal Lytham at St Anne's. Mickelson to stay at 15 under.
In she goes. We saw the problems that his playing partner Martin Laird has been having. 3 over for his opening 6 holes and back to 11 under. And again, perhaps stressing the point that Martin Laird, even though he's from this neck of the woods, I say neck of the woods, from north side of Glasgow, not used to this kind of golf, or hasn't been for a long time. Lives out in the States, plays there.
Molinari. There he goes, boringly down the middle.
Playing alongside Anders Hanson, this 6th hole, fairly benign par 5, not too much trouble, but again back into the breeze today. Trouble really comes up at the green where it narrows the entry to the putting surface, but a generous tee shot, as so many here are.
You can see the clouds are very dark and threatening up above, and there are some white ponies out there. They're not quite white horses, but there's some movement on the water. It tells us there's a frisky breeze blowing out on the water there. One or 2 little boats going by. And here's Mark Warren, 3rd shot at the 6th. Don't go right. See that big bunker lined with heather.
Time for leader moment now. There's a There's a link shot. Keep that one low. But tugged it. Oh dear.
That's in a proper bunker there. That's what you're going to see plenty of today. It mustn't go right, pulled it left. That fair old wind blowing. Now, before we get too advanced in today's player, just a couple of messages I've got in for next week's Open Championship. Children under the age of 16, if accompanied by an adult, can get in free. Now, there aren't many events where you can take up to 16-year-olds in free. Practice days, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can get in close to the players. There'll be a lot. Tiger Woods, Ricky Fowler, Darren Clark, defending champion. That's Jeltsen pitching one up there. Good shot. So practice days, you can get close to the players. You can take your mobile phones in now, but, you know, have them switched off, be sensible with them. Tickets are available on the gate for all days. There's not going to be a closed shop, so that's very important. And the Open apps are now available, so you watch the BBC coverage. You can watch everything, in fact, and you'll be able to do the same on 5 Live. Wonderful radio programme. That's the commercial. Over to Whiteford.
Needs this to save par. He's got a lot of support here, Peter Whiteford, man from Fife, from Kirkcaldy. And we're on for approximately 27 hours each day on the BBC. I might have exaggerated that a little bit.
As I could hear one or two of them groaning already, not hours of them. Philip Parkins with this game. Windswept Parky.
Yeah, quite amazing. Anders Hanson using a 3-wood knows he's going to be way short of that bunker, middle of the fairway. Oh, you can't believe how far he's got for his third. That's driver 3-wood, and he almost needs a 3-wood for his third.
That's what the wind does, Parky. You live in Florida now, you don't know much about wind.
Except when the occasional hurricane sweeps through.
I'd like to just mention Andy Sullivan. Now, Andy Sullivan's a young man, only been a pro 18 months or so, and he's just done his 4th 69. Congratulations, young Andy, Walker Cup, in the winning Walker Cup team. 469s, very good. You get a nice prize, and that's Molinari. One of our leaders belts it up there, still quite a distance from the green.
It's a titled shot in there as well from that angle. But up on the green.
Played it well. Oh, brilliant. Excellent shot.
It was good. The man who hooked the winning putt in the 2001 Walker Cup over at Sea Island in Georgia. I think his career is flattered to deceive a couple of times. He's won a couple of times. And he's such a talented player. And again, he won that World Cup in tandem with Monty in 2007. But he's been having his struggles, no doubt about that. Thomas Levey. And he would be very popular if he could pick up a few birdies. Long putt at the 8th. Oh, hole putt at the 8th. Listen to the roar for Levey.
Well, that's almost as long as Wogan's putt at Glen Eagles all those years ago. That's fantastic. It's a day's march. Well, he deserves one after dropping those shots on the last hole yesterday. Coming down the last 4 for a 29. Took 7.
Consider his season as well. He's missed the last 10 cuts. He's only made 1 cut this year, so this is some turnaround. Mickelson for his 4. Oh yes, and that is a very, very good birdie today at the 6th. Within 1 now of the leaders.
Welshman Philip Price going well. He's had 3 birdies he's played. He's only got 3 or 4 holes left to play. If he can hold on, he'll set the score. He's 14 under at the moment. Mark Warren for his par. Yeah, nicely done. If there's a playoff, they will play, go back and play the 18th and the 18th again, and then the 15th and the 18th. Sudden death, the first one to get the lowest score, popped in and gets the prize.
Now this is a daunting shot, Philip Parkin, isn't it? Narrow entry to the green, into the wind, long way back as well.
Yeah, 135 yards remaining. It looks like an 8-iron. I can't imagine him getting an 8-iron there. I know, it sounds crazy, 135 yards into the wind, 8-iron.
Well, the problem is, Phil, if he gets it up, I mean, this is a dangerous shot. This has got to be struck very well. I would have thought 6-iron, shit and run, but I'm old-fashioned.
You'll have to try and keep it down. Well, he hit it hard, hit it into the wind. And these modern balls, you know, they just ignore the wind, don't they, sometimes?
Do they?
I guess that one didn't.
Well, that could, I think he's all right, but that could be very awkward, but I think he's just about all right. You don't see any of those long pitch and runs with 5 and 6 irons anymore. They blame the modern equipment or the skill of the players. They were nice to watch. Great skill.
Now, it's probably not too bad for Molinari that he's in the first cut here. Takes a bit of spin out of it, won't fly up on him so much.
Well, that looks a little bit straighter faced club.
Hold. Hold.
It does.
Stay there.
Well, it's an unappetizing lie here for Martin Laird. The best he's going to be able to do is get it back out in the fairway, some 50 or 60 yards. Feet way below the ball here.
No, he's having a bit of trouble today. 3 drop shots. He's tumbled back down to 25th place.
Matthew Baldwin at the 18th. He's played a wonderful run. He has not dropped one stroke today. 34, 33, 67. Best score of the day, and there won't be many breaking 70 today, I can tell you that. A fine round of golf from Matthew Baldwin. Excellent.
Yes,
finishes at 15 under. Not bad.
Playing in the Open next week.
You 1 minute sees the hills, the next minute you don't. There's clouds sweeping in.
A little bit lucky here, Anders Hanson. Could have gone down into the thicker stuff or down into the sand, but he looks to have survived with a decent line. Plenty of green to fiddle with.
He can just stand. Steady, steady.
He could have ended up in a really nasty spot. I know he's got to try and keep his balance, but the lie is really good. Plenty of green to work with. Very fortunate.
Little wristy dab. Pretty good result.
Well, Martin Laird, this is his 3rd shot, coming into 7. Castle Stuart was chastised earlier in the week for having these huge wide fairways, and neither Mickelson nor Laird managed to find it here today on the 7th, with only a modicum of a wind compared to what they might get here. Tough day for Laird so far. 3 bogeys, no birdies.
Such a sluggish start. Even worse than that, he's really out of contention now. So many people in front of him.
Francesco Molinari hasn't done anything wrong today. It's difficult conditions, but he hasn't given himself realistic birdie opportunities. They've all been fairly long distance, like this one is at the 6th. Should move a little off the left as it gets to the hole.
Oh, just needed a little bit more. Oric Harrington going well after a 6 on the second hole. All pars, 3 birdies. He's got the 13 under par with 4 holes left. You never know. Three players at 17 under.
Henrik Stenson needs this one to save par on the 11th. Just a little par 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can do yourself a mischief like that.
Take that. Hanson finishes off after that neat little chip at the edge of the green. Hanson 15 under, 2 behind. Took 6 at the second. All the rest pars.
Peter Whiteford, hard as nails, still in the shirt sleeves. Just playing 209 yards today, the actual distance. Downwind as well, pin back left, and all feeds round. If you can use the contours, that might come back.
He'll come back very well. Eve Milker Singh style.
Mickelson has moved the board. You can see the ball.
Ball lying not too badly, but the stance is awkward, as you can see. Straight downwind, but a flat bit of green to land it on.
He has the most wonderful control of distance, or judgment of distance. The shots around the green. He's got 1 or 2 pitching clubs which he uses. Great proficiency. An artiste. Is it warm enough out there, Maureen, or would you like another sweater?
Can send out something more warming than that, surely,
Really?
Peter.
What's it
A
like
wee
there,
dram
seriously?
would not go amiss.
Oh, it's not for the Irish. Well, they got the youngsters out, which is good to see. Remember, they can go into the Open Championship next week if they've got an adult with them up to 16 years of age. Great opportunity, particularly on the practice days when you can mingle or get up very close to all the famous players, and they'll be signing a few autographs and doing all sorts of things.
And Tiger's there today, having a little look around, or was this morning, at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So waiting, Kelson and Warren, while up ahead the green waits to clear now. Whiteford for his birdie on the 8th. In she goes for a 2, and you hear the support he has. He's another one chasing the spot in the Open, but really just chasing a good check as well. He needs a good finish to pick up his season.
Laird, 7, struggling a bit. That eases the aches a bit. Mickelson 2 shots behind. This to stay 2 behind. Oh, no. Thought that was in. So did he.
Just level par for his round so far. 1 birdie at the 3rd, 1 bogey at the 7th. 7th has claimed its fair share of victims this week. 3 behind. He really wanted to win this one a few years ago when he was in the playoff, and Gregory Havre saw him off.
LeVay, the 9th. Second shot, 364 yards. Downwind. Oh, a jam. Oh, might it? Thomas, my boy. He's suddenly back to form. But you'll rue that 7 at the last hole yesterday.
The green is clear, Kelson is ready. Tough hole, even downwind. His playing partner. The difference in the two balls there as they came down, Kelson's hopped on, Warren got a bit more bite on it. Famous day. So still that three-way tie, and of those three leaders, only Molinari has qualified for the Open so far. But Thomas LeVay, despite that double bogey in the last yesterday when he lost a ball, he's throwing himself back into contention for this title and for the Open. The man who won the Scottish Open in 2004 at Loch Lomond, Søren Kjeldsen, also in 1600. Good round from Matt Baldwin, 67 lowest of the day.
Here is Molinari at the 7th. Pushing it down the fairway with a small club, or relatively small club, for position, and succeeding. Hanson, also with a little spoon, Baffy, railer, saver, rescue, call it what you like.
Yeah, with the 7th hole downwind, players can't go with the driver. Quite often can't go with the 3-wood. Slight dogleg right to left, so just nudge it down there. Molinari's in the perfect position, and Hanson is as well.
It is. Just want to give yourself the best sight of this green. You can become unsighted if you go a little bit too far to the right. Now Mickelson, he's on the 8th. Seen how close you can get to this pin. Need to land it short of the green though and bounce it on down there. And all the contours in the world will not help that one. That's a long way from the pin.
Down in a little bit of a dell with the hills behind, and see the flags in that corner not blowing quite as hard. But here's a long putt. They're not viciously sloping greens, but there are plenty of contours on them. There's sort of sensible. Several courses built over the last 15 years as I have greens that are virtually unputtable. And they're built for not holiday golf necessarily, but many people like to enjoy their golf at the 4-putt every green.
Back there shortly, but here is Peter Whiteford on the 9th. Just choking down on it. downwind, trying to impart some spin, hitting it hard.
Hanson at the 7th of this monster putt. Well, LeVay holed one about that distance a few minutes ago. Is it a good old crack? Well, it turned out. Oh, not bad, is it? No, it couldn't. Well, that's two of the longest putts I've seen hold for a long time. I suppose they were aiming for the hole, but oh no, that's almost impossible. And Headley, he jumps at 17 under. Yeah, you can kiss your balls all right, son. That's a good one.
And why not? Right, follow that, Mark Warren. Oh, has he done? No, just had to give it an inch or two more. So he shares the lead alongside Soren Kjeldsen. They enjoyed playing with each other yesterday, 64. There were smiles and arm in arm after they came off. And today they're tied for the lead, along with Milka Singh and Francesco Molinari.
Like those two boxers the other night. They hated each other and then they fell in love after a good thrashing for half an hour, and they both found love. Look at that little neat little shiv. He does play some wonderful shots. It's a little bit firm.
We don't encourage that sort of behaviour at your local club, chipping off the greens, but if you're good enough, the greenkeepers will allow you.
You don't see many courses where you have to do that, but occasionally you do.
Right to play.
Now, Parky, can he see much of the green? Can't see anything of the green. Can he just the flag from here?
Yeah, it's still helping quite strong, isn't it? Take it too far.
Wind's quite strong, I heard the caddy say. Don't you tear our fairways up. Well, the wind's helping here quite strongly, so got to allow for possibly for a little bit of bounce and run. .464 yards and just a drive and a relatively small iron. Down, 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 he's crying. Big hop, steady. Well, might have been worse, but that shot away.
Playing alongside Anders Hansen, very good view of the green. Just a hybrid off the tee, and he'll let that one go to the right as well. And two poor ones from Hansen and Molinari.
I'm looking at our scoreboard. It's quite extraordinary. There's only a handful of players have circumnavigated the first 9 and under par. Great change from the previous 3 days. Quite extraordinary.
Now Mickelson and Bones have studied this one at great length. I think Mickelson needs to hold this. He's 3 behind, but 9 other players in front of him.
Testing left half putt for Mickelson here. Remember, he chipped off the green. And I wonder how that'll go down in the stats. A green in regulation, a single putt, yet only a par.
Crazy days. He's having fun out there. Funsies.
Fun days. Whiteford for a birdie. Could be. Oh, if you hit it. He did! Oh, good old Whitey. Out in 35. 2 bogeys. 6 at the second, 5 at the 7th. But very much in the hunt.
Now LeVay making a move. In the pin here, right on the front of this green. That's good.
Very difficult to get close. That's a good result there from LeVay. Now the 13th hole. Gee, Milka Singh, one of our leaders, long way away. Got to go up there. Now up the hill and on she goes. Turn to the right, please. That's a very good effort.
Soren Kjeldsen on the 8th. It's a massive green, this. 50 yards wide. And all the way down in the left-hand corner is the pin.
We see 1 or 2 come back off the slope, very close to the hole. He was just a little bit too wide to get the help from the slope.
Just 2 paces further left, and that would have head all the way around.
Bit of light cloud approaching. Very dramatic skies. Mark Warren, will it be his day?
Here we go. Lovely shot. And Warren with a chance there to go to 18 under.
Molinari, 7th hole. Ship and run with a straight-faced club. This won't get very far off the ground.
Break.
What a good one. Oh, super shot.
Now LeVay, this one was a good shot he hit in here to the 10th, but left himself the easiest putt. Horrid season for LeVay. He tied 34th in South Africa at the start of the year in the Champions event down there, and then missed every single cut since, all 10 of them.
A long, long putt for Hanson. Over the little ridge, down. Oh, speeding on. Well, they say the wind's going to get up even stronger, Andrew, this afternoon, but don't want it to be much stronger. A big putt here. He ripped the first one by from long range, mind you. This to stay at 15 under. No. They're just beginning to miss the crucial putts now. I think Milka Singh, he's 5 or 6 shots ahead of the big boys here. If he can finish off with no worse than pars, he will set a very good Brian Morgan. Must be Brian Morgan, one of our great photographers. Produced books, and there's the boss in front here wandering across, fellow who designed the course. Well, young Mark here, he's taking a picture of us, look. He produced some wonderful what they call coffee table books on golf courses around the world.
Molinari for his up and down from over the back.
It's an exposed green. This isn't a guaranteed par putt. Did well there for Molinari.
He's rolling those in well now. He's just slightly changed his right-hand grip pressure and seems to have made all the difference in the world. I don't think he's a bad putter. Sometimes that's misleading for him because he hits so many greens. Gets frustrated with missing a few putts. Not like his brother, his poor injured brother, Eduardo, recovering from wrist surgery. Francesco says he's getting deeply bored.
Nelson, now he's got a big swinger here. Just watch where he aims this. If he tickles it along the edge of the green, whether, you know, if you can see the change of the line around, it could dribble round to the hole. If he goes too straight, it'll go way left. I should have been a caddy, you know.
You couldn't survive on the wages, Peter.
I couldn't survive carrying the bags. I have the greatest admiration for them. Very few people ever salute the caddies. They carry great big bags with food and water and fruit and clothes and goodness knows what in it. And it's always the players. As players are so exhausted. Now this is a putt for a 2, but not absolutely straightforward. It's for the lead. Just the whisker. Chance. You don't get, or you won't get many chances at this stage of proceedings.
Right, Kelson for his part to stay in a tie for the lead. No.
Oh, just too firm. Yes. Shot gone. That rather nullifies the monster putt he hold if you're going to be a winner. It's not always the great shots, you know. It's the little ones that just sneak in and the odd silly mistake that costs you. Mickelson's at the 9th, coming up to the clubhouse.
He's left himself a long way back here. It wouldn't have been driver off the tee for Mickelson. He wanted to leave a fuller shot in, I'm sure, to get some control on it. Lovely shot from Mickelson. 3 back at the moment though. 1 birdie, 1 bogey. Not quite good enough. If he can kickstart his round.
Yeah, nice par 3, this one here on the 8, especially with this hole position, back left. And of course you've got the wind from the left and helping. Francesco Molinari is 209 yards. He's going with a 6-iron.
Well, that could be good. Now, what a nice friendly hop.
The family.
This is interesting. Obviously, not afraid when they're in the lead. The Molinari boys.
It's a shame for Eduardo that he's been laid up.
That's the ace to start. Look at this one, eh? What hand? See that Varden grip already? Look at, yes, you're on it. How the hell does he know we're watching him? Oh. Hanson.
Anders Hanson also going with a 6-iron. Hope he gets a little more favourable bounce than Francesco Molinari. I thought he was going to be really close. Might not even catch the slope over there. It's trying. Nope.
I don't think you saw the end result for Molinari, Parky, from where you're standing, but he came off the bank and he's only, what, 16, 17 feet from the hole. It's worked out very well for him. Putt for a 2. Both safely on the way. Now here's LeVay. This to join the leaders. Oh, he hasn't hit it. Oh, that's a good yard, Sean. Ken Brown's joined us just in time to see milk a thing, Ken.
Second to the 14th, pin on it on the lower tier.
Bizarre swing, really, isn't it?
Yes, an odd-looking action. Oh, go on.
Oh, and he needed another. Well, he needed a couple of yards. Now, Filippo. Phil Mickelson for a birdie.
Well, can he pick the line on this one? He's had 1 or 2 chances. Forward press, nice roll, overboard.
It's a strange thing, though, Ken, isn't it? The week before a great championship or an event, you want to play well, but so often if I win, the odds are I'm not going to win 2 in a row. So it's almost a sort of two-edged sword. You'd love to win the Scottish Open, but then if you do, can I go on and win next week as well? It's all mental, of course.
I think in Mickelson's case, he probably could.
Yeah, but it's like roulette, red and white. You know, bet on red or black, and you can get 8 blacks in a row. The odds are exactly the same when you go to spin the wheel again. And yet you think, oh, it can't happen again, but of course it can. It intrigues me, lad. He has a long putter and stands well up. You see, it's almost as if he's hitting a 2 or 3 iron. Yep, well done. Not one of his better days.
Holes 9 to 12 today are giving a few birdies away. It's the easiest stretch of holes, so he's moving into the scoring area, if there is such a thing.
LeVay now having, he wasn't too far away to begin with. Now this is crucial. Yeah, good man. Lavender, lilac shoes even. Oh, that's a bit bold even for a French gentleman.
Hanson having to come over a little ridge there, kicking it right to left, downhill now.
Couple of bogeys on his card. So started at 16 under, back at 14 under, still right in it. Just a little flurry of birdies at the right time, or a bit of luck, and still got every chance of taking the title, but needs to make some birdies.
Whiteford at the 10th for a birdie. Yeah, well done.
Certainly one of the best birdie chances for Molinari. Oh, he's hit every green, and that was certainly one of his better chances. Oh, I suppose he missed the last green. Good up and down, but up until then.
It's the sort of day that Nick Faldo around, all pars. I don't know if it's going to be quite good enough, but Nick Faldo won the Open at Muirfield. He had 18 pars the final day.
Yes, particularly the last few holes here with if the wind freshens up. You could sing at the 14th, and that's just a little bit too low, but a good putt. He started off very well, and then he had a couple of birdies, and he's then played quite nicely, conservatively.
Can you remember his dad, the Flying Sikh?
Oh yeah, he was terrific, his dad. But hero of India there in the athletics, one of the great sportsmen.
He's a 400-metre runner, wasn't he? I think he won a gold in the Commonwealth Games.
He was quick.
He was quick, yeah.
He has so many interesting characteristics. He never has a practice swing with his putting. He just steps up with a cack-handed grip, sort of shinty grip, and hands well forward. He doesn't really look as if he's a brilliant player, but he certainly is.
Soren Kielsen from the perfect spot at the 9th. Par 4, his second shot. Commercially played. Give you an uphill putt from there. If you just drift a little to the right of this pin, the ball gets drawn off the putting surface.
Anxious faces.
And let's update you at the situation. We got a three-way tie at the top. It's Singh, Warren and Molinari, all on 17 under par. Jeev Milkha Singh is leading the way at the moment. I heard Peter talking about his dad, Milkha Singh. Yes, he was, Peter, 4th in the 400 metres, 1960 at the Olympics. In fact, there's a film being made about his life right now. He's a hero of India. Thomas Levey is still battling away. In fact, look at that. You got, what, 5 out of the top 6 are all vying for one place available at the Open next week, because, of course, we'll be swapping the wide open spaces of Castle Stuart for the enclosed atmospheric links at Royal Lytham.
The Open this week at Lytham.
There's the little winning stroke.
Well, it couldn't happen to a nicer fella.
No doubt whatever of the outcome.
How'd you like a dad, said you?
And Jacqueline is the winner. The shortest shot that ever won a championship.
In she goes.
Oh, what a corker.
I think he's pleased about it. Seve is once more the champion.
Lytham, and our coverage begins actually the night before it all kicks off with the preview programme, 20 past 11 on BBC Two, and then of course it's live all the way from 9 o'clock on Thursday morning till 8 p.m. in the evening, and then right through the weekend until the Claret Jug is claimed. Can't wait. But first of all, pressing matters here. Who's going to claim this Scottish Open title?
Another good round just come in. Philip Price, who's not been in the best of form over the last season or two, was 69 on this difficult day. So Philip from Wales, 68-69, 68-69, 14 and good score. That'll bring a good, nice check. Freddie Jacobson playing alongside him, 71. Also a good round under these conditions. Anything under par, Ken, 72 or better today. If the wind conditions stay the same as they are, it'll be a good score.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Andy Sullivan's 4 rounds of 69 look very impressive. Mark Warren, no one's made it to 18 under yet. Could it be Mark? Oh, good effort. Two wins on the European Tour, his last coming in 2007, the Johnny Walker Championship at Glen Eagles. So he knows he can win, but last time he won was some time ago.
Milkha Singh being 6 holes ahead, you know, could be, if he can finish perhaps with 1 birdie in the last hole, he could set a good target. Hilton for a birdie. We've had an email in from Maureen Hill from Harrogate saying she misses the Colonel. Well, Colonel Workman, you know, walks the fairways with his Reamy boys, and they all give us the yardages and how we know the club selection. One of them's missing this week, Warren of Isaacs, Trevor Isaacs. First time for 6 years he's missed an event here. He's just been posted to Afghanistan, so his friends here Send him their best luck and, of course, best wishes, and hope he comes back safely. They do a great job for us, the boys at Remy. Takes their leave. They're all mad keen golfers, led by the gallant colonel who's recently retired. But a jolly good egg.
Now this is going to test his skills with a sandwich. Big tee shot at the 10, second shot for Laird. He was always going to be tricky. He did pretty well. It needed to carry another yard to get on that little plateau. It would have kicked on and forward. The 10th hole's 363 yards. So it would almost be drivable if you get one straight.
He's missed a few fairways today, as Philip, hasn't he?
Yesterday, actually, I thought it was very impressive all round. But you know what it's like, Peter, when the wind's blowing around a little bit and you're trying to press a little bit to make some birdies, it's easy to get out of position.
Yeah, it is. He's in a real linksy situation here, isn't he? Marram grass and sand, and it's great to look at. Oh, it didn't come up. Oh, it tried, but well, you get down to 2 from there, probably 1.
He spoke very highly of the course in his interview the other day. He obviously enjoyed playing it.
Well, yesterday he played for middle 2 rounds. He played like the Hall of Famer. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame about 6, 8, 10 weeks ago, and well, he's won. What's he won? 30 or 40 events in the United States and a couple of majors.
Yeah, he's a star of the game. There's no doubt about that. Superstar.
And he looks as if he enjoys it.
We'll go down there, Terry.
Francesco Molinari could not have left himself in a better position. Second shot to the 9th. Haven't seen a birdie yet from this group. It would be nice if he knocks this close and makes things exciting. Look at this. Well done.
Molinari has played absolutely perfectly, exactly to his merits. Every hole in par. And here at the 9th, a chance for a birdie. Hanson, on the other hand, has had 2 bogeys, no birdies. Here is Hanson.
Not the best of angles here. Semi-blind, trying to give it lots of height, get it to land as soft as possible. Oh, what a shame. That's why it wasn't a good angle.
That's the beauty of this sort of golf, though. Okay, there's good architecture, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah. Not punishing, but it's just enough to make pars difficult.
And from there, he could use any of his 14 clubs in the bag for the next shot.
Yep.
It's not just the lob wedge with the club face open and a big swish.
I remember when we played a Ryder Cup in El Dorado in Palm Springs, they just introduced water bunkers. Not water hazards, but either side of the green there were ponds. And I mean, they really do make you feel a bit twitchy. That may be one of the worst shots I've ever seen him play within 20, 30 yards of the green. Oh, here's Eve Milker Singh, a bit of trouble. Can he retrieve the situation?
Needs to be careful here. This could come out hot. Pins at the back of the green. He's got a bit of landing area. Out of the rough, breeze helping. Ooh, where's it off to?
Well, he's got helping wind. Oh, he's all right. How did that stop? I think the golfing gods are with him today. That was a very, very fine result. Then he just turns last couple of holes into the wind. The 8th is a par 5 downhill over 600 yards.
Par 5. 12th, breeze helping, a little off the left. Thomas Levay's second shot. Uphill, you just see the top of the pin.
No.
Oh no.
Ah, no.
It was going left.
That's not an easy flag position, Ken, is it?
No.
With that bank on the left and the wind behind. Almost impossible to get it really close. Hanson now putting through the little valley, through the up the hill, over the top. Slowed up.
And the beauty of those features, Peter, maintenance-wise, virtually zero, where you get all these fancy hazards and hollows and humps full of long grass and costs money the whole time to look after.
Well, greenkeeper's time, but as you say, with sweeping off the green, you can mow it, and I'm hoping we're going to get a second course at Old Thorns down in Liphook, and that'll be heather and pine, but no bunkers, raised greens, all going to fall away, so people can come and play and enjoy it.
Francesco Molinari has a chance for his first birdie of the day here at the 9th hole. Don't come much more straightforward than this one.
This to take the lead on his own. Well done, just enough pace. Sometimes when you've had a few birdie chances and you haven't made any, it puts a bit more pressure on you.
I was looking at the, what do you call the barometer of birdies there. They're getting on for 1,500. And of course the Rotary Club of Loch Ness and the Aberdeen Asset Management Group and the PGA Tour are contributing £5 for charity. Every birdie, £10 for every eagle, 50 quid for every albatross. So a lot of money. It's about 20,000 quid at the moment. At coffee time this morning. It's a tremendous achievement. Now, Hanson, come on, you can't take 5 here after a reasonably good drive. No, I knew he wouldn't.
Yeah, the charity money is going to the Children's Hospice Association of Scotland and the Befrienders Highland Charity.
That's terrific, isn't it? 20-odd thousand quid. It's a marvellous.
Yeah, plenty of birdies.
Mickelson for a par at the 10th.
Oh, Phil.
No, oh Phil, what happened there? Isn't it extraordinary? He does this, he plays the most wonderful shots and then a little push tee shot, but he still looks deliciously happy. Hello. Hey, a nice quiet, must be going to a wedding.
Peter,
I tell you what, those boys must be a hell of a good at karate. You wouldn't walk about like that, would you? You really wouldn't be. And
latest Vivienne Westwood's.
oh, Vivienne Westwood, yeah. She's a bit spacey.
Right, Jeeve. Got a little bit of good fortune with your approach. 15's going to give very few birdies away with this back left pin. Very interesting action. Sort of picks the putter up and drops it on the ball, Aoki style almost.
Very deliberate. Running well, turning though. Just ran out of gas.
I mean, he's a terrific player. He's won 3 times on the European Tour. He's won in Asia, half a dozen times in Japan. He's a proper winner. He's won right around the world. First Indian to play in the Masters. So this is a man with a lot of experience and a lot of class.
Very dramatic, isn't it, with the water just at the back of the back of those 2 greens. I think many people are going to get a tremendous amount of enjoyment playing here over the years. This is just as expensive as a good drive. Yeah, well done. Another one safely tucked away. See, this would be tremendous if you're a bit of a romantic. If he were to win this Scottish Open Championship. Golf is coming on in India. Asia, the Koreans and the Thais, they've been, the women particularly, have been tremendous. But with particularly with golf going in the Olympics and all that sort of thing, it could make a boom of golf in India.
Yeah. Little upslope here, which may help Soren pop the ball in the air. Pin on 7 at number 10. Has he judged it? Not bad at all. Got that to stop very quickly down the breeze. Mark Warren just missed that divot. A bit of good fortune. So he too will be able to throw it miles up and see if he can spin it. Skiddy one, skiddy one. Oh, unlucky. Just trying to ping it off that left bank, that right bank, sorry.
So the rest of your 3 is going to land probably 210, 215.
It's going to pitch 40 short of it.
Molinari right. The edge of the sea, on the edge of the Firth. Big bank of gorse up on the right-hand side. .363 yards this hole. Just trying to find the fairway nicely. Just far enough. Yep. Used to say, Ken, someone like Molinari, if you go down perhaps a league and go to amateur golf, absolutely super foursomes partner.
Oh.
You know, the Sunningdale foursomes or the Glen Eagles. Remember the old Glen Eagles foursome? And you found an amateur like that playing off about 12. You know, it's wonderful, really, and a good chance of winning. Just keep it. Mike Houston used to play beautifully. Captain of Surrey, of course, used to be work with us. Good wishes to you, Michael, my boy, if you're watching. Never missed a fairway. Well, both with irons. He looks anxious. I don't think he should be. No, he's all right.
The thing about these humps and hollows, the ball tend to drift into the same sort of little areas, catchment areas, and it's easy to find an old divot.
Yeah, that's true. I had an email in this morning. Is it fair to play out of a divot when you get a lift from a rabbit scrape? See, what's the answer to that, Ken? Have a think about that. Well, still part of the game, I suppose. Levay. No, it's been short now. The last 4 or 5 holes. Never reached the hole. Yes, I'm sure to the uninitiated, you might say, it seems unfair to play out of a sandy divot. We saw a couple of them this week, but that's just part of it. Yes. Oh no, I thought it was going to just turn and drop.
I think you should just through the green, you should play it how it lies, and if you can't, take a penalty drop wherever you are. That would smarten everyone up. So
One shot, yeah, one shot. Yeah.
It's not meant to be fair, the game.
Years ago, they didn't have someone going around every match raking the bunkers. We get people wondering why pros don't rake the bunkers. But Mark Warren there. I tell you what, we're going to have a race for home over the last 4 or 5 holes. Ian Molinari lead the way at 18 under. Quite a climb up to the next tee.
Harrington at the 18th. 12 under, this for a birdie. That takes him round to 71, 1 under par, 12 under, just about in the top 30. And I was looking at his statistics, Peter. He's actually started to make a few putts, which is, you know, he's putted steadily but not consistently well. So
I think he's been moving on the putts, my sort of casual observation of him, but that's rounds of 69, 69, 67 and 71. That's very good. So it's 12 under, but it'll finish probably in the first 8 or so. Still a very good score, good scoring. Hanson now.
Anders Hansen, long way back, 136, a difficult hole position to be aggressive from this distance. He will get spin. Yeah, that's a pretty good shot. Played it a little on the safe side, but still got a chance for birdie.
Harrington scores, he's currently tied for 16th. So he'll definitely finish in the top 20. A nice tee shot from Molinari. Has he found a decent lie there, Phil?
He's got a decent lie, 101 yards left. I expected Molinari just to hit an iron. I thought Hanson may go with a driver, try and drive this green, considering he's quite a few shots behind. But certainly Molinari did the right thing. You know, 101 yards downwind. Should still be able to get some spin. Don't forget soft greens. But if he goes at the hole position, just goes a couple of paces too far, then he'll go on the bottom level. So I expect he's still going to aim a little bit to the right of the hole. Got the lob wedge out.
I suppose the line is just on the left edge of the TV tower.
Yeah, if he aims about 4 feet right, it's such a larger area than if he goes directly at the hole. And I think he'll accept 4 feet right of the hole, wouldn't he?
I think he sure would. Just want to come up short. If he pitches at all short, it'll come off the front of the green. Nicely done. A very cute little pin there.
Mark Warren going along very nicely indeed. Now, can he hold it together? 8 holes to go. 168 yards or so this hole. That's a good shot.
Yes, if you venture left of this pin more than 4 or 5 yards, you're down on the beach. So
only a wedge down here, but this is a difficult shot. High-flying shots in this cross breeze are not what the players like to play. But there's another beaut.
what's the temperature like out there, Maureen?
Well, it's very pleasant. I mean, it's a good frisky breeze out here, Ken, and just challenging golf shots. And I must say, anything under 100 yards, if you don't have control of your ball flight out here and the amount of spin on the ball, it can, you know, can really be quite cruel in finding you out. So wonderful test here. We're seeing some great shots.
And there's the gallant colonel in the hat there, striding along. He's got his bus pass now, but he's still a bit lively. Here's the boys who were talking about Trevor Isaacs, who's the warrant officer, missing his first tournament for a long time, taking his leave to join us. Now 16G, 3 holes only to play, Ken.
16 is probably just about drivable. He's not the longest of hitters. If he gets the right flight and gets a shooting bounce.
Quite extraordinary swing.
My goodness, look at the cut he's got there. Come on, baby.
Tell you what.
Hello. That's magnificent.
I tell you what. That was a, wow. Hello, he's just, Mark Phillips going to drive it back to him.
That was amazing, because that ball in the air had 30 yards of left to right on it, didn't it?
And then it came off the slope, got about 50 yards of run. Well, back to the 10th.
Who's first, Phil?
Francesco Molinari's first. He's done everything safe so far. Iron off the tee, really safe with the second shot. But you know, still got this chance for a birdie. Slightly down slope, should move a fraction from his left.
He really has holed very few putts. He plays so well in 2 putts of green, not bad at all. Needs to turn and go. No.
Lovely roll off the putter face there. The ball never left the putting surface. Always a sign of a well-struck putt.
Couple of subtle borrows here for Mark Warren. First part of the putt should move a little bit from right to left, but it's going to try and come back from the other way at the very end. Double breaker.
We have a new leader. We have a new leader. 19 under, Mark Warren. Bird is at 10 and 11.
Ooh, be nice if he won. You see, he's been around. He should have been a more prolific winner for whatever reason, nerves, whatever it is. But he's very talented, and if he just keeps going, great for him, great for Scottish golf, great for the event.
Oh, no Scottish winner of this event since Colin Montgomery 13 years ago. Monty was Mark Warren's playing partner when they won the World Cup of Golf a few years back, and the younger Scot making a bold bid to claim this title too. Right from the off today, with this decisive birdie at the first, he has looked well up for this. Out yesterday with Kjeldsen, shot a 64, and really is looking the part once again after a few years in the doldrums. Well, Mark was a winner here in Scotland at Glen Eagles in the past, and his dream start continued there at the second, and that was for a share of Molinari's lead at the 17 under, watched by his wife Laura. This birdie at the 10th gave him the co-lead once again at -18. And we've just seen Mark go into pole position all on his own with that back-to-back birdie at the 11th. Here it is. So the putter working very, very well, but he's been so impressive from tee to green as well. Sporting the blue and white, very firmly flying the colours of the Saltire for this receptive crowd today. How they would love to see a home winner after such a long time. Long way to go though. Here's his playing partner today, Kjeldsen.
That's missing a birdie putt. And if you're wondering how the defending champion's getting on, Luke Donald, he has had 2 bogeys. He was out in 37 and he's had every hole in par since then, so he's minus 12 for the championship at this moment. The big boys aren't really firing, Ken, are they? They're sort of treading ground, you might say, treading water. And BJ Singh out in 32, I mean, that's a tremendous outward now, and he's kept it going.
Well, unlike the opening 3 days, birdies are pretty hard to find today, hard to get your iron shots close. It's fairly generous fairways, fairly generous greens, so if you're playing well you can find the greens in regulation, but it's very hard to get inside 15 feet to give yourself a genuine birdie opportunity.
It's a classic golfing day for the good players in this, you know, competitive players. You have to have a full array of shots, and you've got to use your brains, and you've got to keep your patience, and you've got to accept a few bad bounces. People say, oh, can he win, or can anyone can win if you just get the formula right. But they become overcome with fear, with doubts.
11th tee and Molinari. How far is it playing, Philip?
148 yards today, and of course it's tight to the left, 4 paces from the left edge, 6 paces from the beach, wind off the left and helping.
Middle of the green be okay. Oh no, it's drifting away. Drifting further and further away. Not sure it would have got far up the green anywhere there, Ken, do you? Probably a little,
no,
15 yards short.
Sometimes if you just don't quite get the right flat, playing down breeze, the ball can get slightly knocked out of the air depending how you strike it.
Oh, Hanson. That was a nice looking swing.
That was a 9-iron.
Sat down very quickly, right on line.
Alex Lauren, who had all sorts of trouble on this 12th hole yesterday, has this for an eagle. Par 5, just over the back of the green, the simplest of birdies.
He hasn't dropped a shot now, he's had 3 birdies. There aren't many players out there today that have not dropped a shot now. Here he is. Gee, Milkerson, well, you can see the length of putt. That's more than a cricket pitch. So 2 putts, delightful and delighted.
This whole green from here, Peter, just slopes a little from right to left, but it's downhill, so it'll go down little terraces to the pin. Come on, Jeeve, bit of magic.
3 putt for a par. Slowing up. Oh, 10 feet short. Another dramatic picture. Now look at that lovely bunker on the left, sort of real old Sunningdale, Berkshire, Swinley bunker. Gorse around and about. Bunker's just tucked away to the left. Now this could be the winning putt, Ken, if he can roll this in and not do anything foolish for the last 2 holes. Birdie putt for Noren. Beginning to gather at the top of the leaderboard. But this man here, remember, is well, he's 6 holes ahead of the last pair. If you set a target, it's never a bad thing. It's for a birdie. Oh, it looked good, Ken. Just faded. You said it all slipped just a little bit from the right-hand side. But that's a par. But after driving the green, you're looking for a birdie. But that's not the end of the world.
The last 2 holes playing more into the breeze. They'll give very little away. 17 and 18. 17 a 3, 18 a longish par 5.
Molinari. Just down below the green. See at the height of that bank. Nip it. Oh, beauty. A little dab, and the modern technology and the modern balls, it bounces, runs, and then just a little bit of check.
Ooh. Phil has made this par 5 in 2. Breeze behind. Now this would be a punch in the air if this goes in. Eagle chance.
Oh, a bit more pace, Ken. That was in. Was coming in from the right-hand side. He's had a couple of little blips today. He's 14 under at the moment. It's 3 behind.
That was a lovely little chip shot from Molinari. Incredibly tight lie, but no problem for him. This one to save par.
He's knocking those in nicely.
Yeah, he's done that all week, hasn't he? He's holed out from 4 feet and in very confidently.
Mickelson's 5 behind, not 3. Hanson finishing off.
And there's confirmation of how it stands as we are well into the back 9 now. Mark Warren with that 1-shot advantage from Francesco Molinari, who's led from start of this championship. But is he about to be overhauled in the last few holes? We shall see. Incidentally, Mark Warren has never qualified for the Open Championship in his career to date. Despite the fact that he's won 2 European titles, he's never made it. And he's going about it the right way if he wants to play at Lytham. Remember, the top player who's not qualified have to finish in the top 5 in order to claim that spot. Mark Warren in pole position right now. And as we look further down, there's Mickelson. Still not out of it, but he's going to have to produce something very, very special over the last few holes. Here is our leader, Mark Warren. Will it be his day?
Do you sense the tension out there, Maureen? Can you feel it hubbling and bubbling up, or are they all terribly calm?
No, well, no, I think there are very few people out here who are not calm. Huge pressure out here on Mark Warren because there is so much at stake for him. And just at this stage with the, short par 4 10th and then this reachable par 5, he's for the first time in his round having to stand and wait a little bit. And that doesn't really help the old nerves jangling away. But he's got 287 to go up the hill here. It is on in 2 at this big par 5 with this prevailing downwind, southwesterly. If he just eases it up the right, the contour should help him a little.
A good swing he's got. Needs a bounce, gets it. That's a super shot. No, doesn't want to go too far. It will. And that's okay. Should be all right there. Chased it through the green. He's wondering why there's no applause. Consult the book. Yeah, we're on the right course.
Kelton tends to have a lower ball flight and gets a bit more run naturally on his shots.
Well, from that gesture, I don't think that ended very well. It wasn't a very good swing, in all truth.
It's where that pin is cut today. If you miss the green anywhere on the right with that big bank they've got to chip down, makes it very awkward. I don't know exactly where it has gone, but it's not too bad, but it's just an awkward angle, those banks.
Banks are giving us a lot of trouble these days.
Yeah, this is interesting, the 12th hole. It's not often we've played it downwind this week. Of course, it is a monster. But if you had a good one down the right side, you've got a chance of reaching in too. Molinari's just like a machine, isn't he, tee to green?
I think it's wonderful, and people talk about the big boomers now, isn't it wonderful, smashing the ball as hard as you can and then lashing it onto the green. But to see someone playing properly, it's almost old-fashioned, but it's lovely. Here's Jeev Milkha Singh, 17th, long par 3, into the wind.
Up the left should come kicking down. That's a little unfortunate. I suppose just popping up in the breeze and didn't get the forward bounce. Playing 206 yards today. Jeev probably would have expected that to have hopped forward a little bit. High towering shot required. Lauren's 2nd to 13. Oh my goodness.
A little wide.
That's a bit wide, isn't it?
Here we are, that family outing. You know, we're talking about the wonderful views here. There are some great courses around here. I've never been, but I'm told there's Cragen Golf Course, Grantown-on-Spey, which is less than an hour from here. It's the only 14-hole course in Scotland. There's a 12th hole, golf course, Shiskin, which is a lovely. But this one's by the River Spray, of the Cromdale Hills and the Cairngorm. I mean, they're all such a delight. And if people plan a golfing holiday, you know, there's worse places to come to than this. I know the weather might be a bit iffy and not quite as cheap as going to, I know, Turkey. But it has great charm.
You had a chance to visit Stoneham Golf Club 2 or 3 weeks ago. What a lovely,
Stoneham, yes.
Just outside Southampton. What a delightful little course that is.
It is. But there are so many nice golf courses of all sorts. You know, Heather and Pine and Linksea and Seaside and Parkland, Heathland. LeVay. I wish him a good finish. Come on, LeVay. Don't drop any shots. Well, he's just not firing, is he? Not getting him straight.
Kelson's probably just far enough back to be able to fly it over those banks. Let's just see if he can. He's trying to chop it down the hill. That was very awkward. He knew as soon as he hit his second shot he was in an awkward spot. But okay, have that for a birdie.
Tried to get back. Alexander Noren, 13th. Massive putt. 2 putts would be a little bonus. Could be. No. I say, well, we did say this morning somebody might leap out of the blue, and that's the sort of thing that'll do it for you. That was a huge bonus, and what a moment. I mean, you know, he was hoping to get it near, hoping to hold it, I suppose, but Oh, well.
Mark Warren leads by 1 at 19 under. Is this apart from just off the fringe for an eagle?
Could be a bit sticky. Putting from off the green, a bit right to left.
Nicely judged. Good tee shot, well struck iron. Little unlucky, it trickled over the back. 2 putts.
Well, he 3-putted on the previous green, having driven the green from this sort of distance, and he left it, well, 10, 12 feet short. Bit of a roller coaster, this, Ken, but not an awful lot of swing in it.
No, I think it's just that last 6, 10 feet. It will turn from left to right as it's dying. Well, the pin's on 23, so he's about 25 yards, maybe 75 feet.
You'll notice he doesn't have a practice swing to sort of get the feel of things. He steps straight up to the ball. Really a very short backswing for such a long putt. Oh, beauty. That's a good putt. Good touch, Ken. Very good touch.
Sort of like a bit Aoki-ish, a bit Gary Player, that little pop on the back of the ball.
Aoki was more sort of break of the wrist and dab it and stab it. Rather like Willie Nelson, the singer. You don't think they can do it, but somehow they do. You know, that Aoki didn't look as if he could putt at all. They went in, and dear old Willie doesn't look as if he can sing, but makes a good noise.
To be a handy one. Just one of those days that not many birdies, because you just can't get quite near enough. That's the sort of range a lot of players have had, and done exactly what Soren's done.
Well, if you get a few opportunities like, or putts like Noren, I mean, that's one of the ways. But Mark Warren, our leader, this is for a birdie. Oh, too clear. Well done. Oh, this is terrific stuff.
Francesco Molinari we wanted to change that leaderboard. He can reach into going with a hybrid 278, 241 to the front, downwind.
Oh, one of the few shots he's not hit absolutely dead straight, maybe up on the right. Not sure where that's gone.
Yeah, this went way right, Peter.
Did it?
There's no trouble though.
He's on the wrong side though, isn't he? Yeah, but it's a par 5. If you accept that and play for a 5 and maybe get a 4, is when you try and force a 4, you take 6.
Good 3 at 17, par 5 to come. Oh, how much a birdie would be worth for him. Would set a really strong total in the clubhouse.
Yeah, that putt on the previous hole, if he birdied the last, of course, he'd be 18, 19 under, and I think that would have. I still think 19 will win.
Yeah, could easily, yeah.
Score. Now, Mickelson's got an interesting putt here.
Yes, sir. You're going downhill and severely up the other side. This will test his green reading ability and his touch. Bones attending the flag. Well, this is going to be interesting, Peter. Watch how he plays this. He's going to run this up the bank at the back of the green.
Not a bad idea if he gets it right. You see the little dark, the sprinkler head there. If he goes too far, it won't come back. But this could be a good one.
This is a good one. This is magic. Woo! Come on, baby. Oh no,
it didn't come. Oh, that didn't come. I thought that was very unlucky. One more hole, Jeeve. He's up there. Is he all right? Oh. Well, I don't think he could have reached in two anyway, so it'll be a pitch and a putt. If he gets a reasonable lie, he can get it down 150 yards or so.
There's quite a narrow strip now of deep rough. If you go up where the crowd has been, it's not too bad. It's just that little area just off the fairway.
Our leader, Mark Warren. Where has he been for the last 10 years? I think he looks a marvellous player. But it's confidence, must be confidence. Nelson playing with Warren and doing well. He's hanging on. Ken Brown's been out on the 13th. He's been out and about quite a bit this morning. Here's what he thought about it.
Let's have a look where the flag is cut on the 13th today. Currently the breeze in the player's face, and I think it's going to be quite a breezy day. Little humps and hollows. There's not a bunker on the hole, but this green guarded by lots of swales, ridges and runnels. And the flag today towards the front right of the green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paces on. If you come up a little bit shy, the ball's going to get caught in the slope here and trickle off. So you're going to have to hit a high flighted soft lander. Drift down the left. There's a little canny gully, little St Andrew's gully that'll just draw the ball off down that left side, and very awkward to two putt from there. So from down the fairway, you're looking at this pin that looks like there's hardly any green at all, and beyond the pin, all you can see is the Murray Firth. So tested little flag this one today on 13, wind buffeting around. You've got to get a high, soft, faded, soft lander if you're going to get into one putt area.
Have you ever auditioned for Doctor Who?
Daren't say what I think. What on earth has he done there?
Well, he just sort of pitched it out. I think he didn't quite go as he intended. I think he wanted to go down
the
where
slope,
the caddy is there and sort of go down to the front of the green. Now he's left himself. Well, you'd think it was almost an impossible shot.
Well, that's a big mistake, because it was easy to get it on the green, but I think he was trying to get it, sneak it past that tongue of rough, and got a bad bounce, and now he's got the same problem with his next one.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Like a saying, all depends on his lie. He's going to have to knock it down the fairway and rely on a pitch and a putt. But you're quite right. There's a little thickish looking strip through there, isn't there?
Yes, just where the players haven't won. But actually, he's
not bad. I see it.
Yeah, it's a spindly one, so you get a bit of a flyer out of there. He's not too bad. I can't certainly see him having a shy up the green. He'll be laying up to Molinari. Now he's got two. You can either run it down this slope or try and float it onto the flat. Oh, he's going
the aerial route, I think, by the look of it.
Must carry it onto the green.
Ooh. Bit fiery. See, a simple little hole downwind, and you push it. He's such a straight hitter, and that's the worst drive of the first directed drive he's hit all day. He's probably going to drop a shot.
Good tee shot from Alex Noren, looking down the throat of the green. It's high. Is it going to get down the little tier? It does. Really bad.
Is your 13th hole, Ken? Elson's second shot. Steady. Okay.
Like a magnet, that little hollow, it just sort of draws the ball down. That's the view the player gets. It doesn't look like there's any green there at all. They've got to trust their yardage books. The caddies know exactly how much room there is there.
Just a little bit of a downhill lie here for Warren, but perfect position up the left. Gives him a great view of this flag tucked on the right. Into quite a stiff breeze here. He's going with a little 7. Expect to see this flighted down a little bit.
Stay there. No. Mickelson did miss his putt on this green, so he did 3 putt and dropped a stroke back to 13 under.
Molinari for a par. They dropped a shot at the 14th. The first shot he's dropped on the back 9 all week. That little third shot let him down. He'll be cross with himself.
Yes, that wasn't a sort of execution there. It was almost a mental mistake, because he could have chipped it on the green 80 times out of 80 if he was just trying to make the green.
Hanson, 2 over today so far. It's for a par. Stays 2 over par for the day. 14 under for the championship.
Right, don't be too greedy here. Chief, get this ball in play.
Could chase down a bit. Oh, it's trying to chase down, but it really checked and just staggered.
After holding a monster at 13, another birdie chance for Alex.
Frightened hole. Say.
Hospitality behind the green, and interesting green that slopes from front to back.
Andrew Cotter's rejoined us just at a most testing time. Welcome back, Andrew.
Thank you. This man here is putting together a great round of golf, and an overused word, but 5 under, no drop shots in these conditions, and it's cool out there and pretty breezy. Very impressive. Tough putt here though.
Yes, not exactly straightforward, must say. Warren looking very cool. Great support out here, as you can expect. Change of elevation here, which is never easy. There's quite a steep little rise just ahead of him. It's going to throw the ball off to his right-hand side. And really at this stage, you know, he's putting towards quite a big scoreboard on the right of the screen. And he just wants to keep his focus and put this one up, not dip into his nervous reserves of energy just too much at this stage.
Good touch from the little valley of nastiness down the left of the screen. Well judged. The left of the green, left of where the flag is today.
There's the First Minister, Alex Salmon, watching. St Gilbert's if the sponsors alongside. Kelson just wriggles past the edge. A frustrating time on the greens for Soren. Bars 9, 10, 11, 12 and now 13. 16 under, playing with the leader at 20 under, so he knows what he's got to do. Holes running out.
Well, let's just hope the First Minister doesn't have the same effect on Warren as he did on Andy Murray at Wimbledon.
Harsh but fair.
This to keep a very handsome 3-shot lead.
And good, positive, confident stroke. Doing everything right at the moment.
Under. Oh my. Shunting it forward, his third Jeeve Milker Singh to the 18th, and he's on the right plateau, right down the flag. Excellent shot. Little ledge that runs through the centre of the green, 8 yards or so wide, and he got it right down the centre of it, so an outside birdie chance. First prize here for the winner. The best part of £420,000. Second, 275, so big prize money. Exceptional course. Castle Stuart Links, worth coming to have a game.
So they're on the 14th tee, and earlier Ken was down there having a look as well.
In golf, the strategy of a golf hole really is the heart and soul of the game. So if you get a golf course that's just got long, narrow fairways with a deep rough, yes, it's not easy, but there's only one way of playing it. See a hole like this, I'm on the tee here, the green is here, you just got to keep it down the fairway, straight on. If you're in the rough, you just chip it out sideways. Not terribly interesting, but not necessarily easy. But I'm on the 14th here, it's got a huge wide fairway, like this one here, tee green there. But right in the centre of the fairway is a bunker. So it makes you think, do I play short, do I play right, do I play left, do I go over it? It makes you think on the tee, depending on the conditions, where the pin is cut. You get a bunker with a wide fairway right in the centre of it, and things become interesting. Golf becomes a tactical game, not just trying to hit straight down the runway, but do I play left of it, do I play right of it, do I fly it over, where's the pin cut? It makes golf more interesting, more enjoyable. Strategy is the heart of the game, and it makes the game fun.
You're scaring me. Well, even into the wind today, Mark Warren just taking an iron. It's fully 290 to that bunker. He's left himself a long way back.
Yeah, especially with the back pin, there's not much of a green to aim at there. Yeah, there's no way you can clear that bunker there. It's 300 odd yards. Steery one from Soren Kielsen. Yeah, handy little bit of run there. .5'7", Soren Kielsen, not the biggest man in the world, but always seems to have a sort of ready smile. Looks like he's enjoying it.
Looking down at the 18th green there, where we find Jeeve Milker Singh. Just looking looking to set a target. Matthew Baldwin still the leader in the clubhouse after his 67 left in 15 under. But Singh is going to set a target that might be an honest one.
He's currently 5 under for his round, which is exceptional. No bogeys on it. This will be for birdie number 6. Take him to 18 under. To have any sort of chance, I think this has to find the bottom of the cup.
Don't leave it short. Don't leave it short. Tentative. Still a very, very good round. 3 shots behind Mark Warren at the moment. 67 though, bogey free, 4 birdies, 5 birdies. 4 birdies in the front 9, 1 on the 10. But I think, as Ken was saying, perhaps needed at least 1 more.
Well, he 3-putted the 16th, having drove the green. That was probably his moment to strike if he was going to, but excellent performance. The 13.
Turnover, says his caddy. Lovely shot from Francesco.
Scotsman Martin Laird, who plays on the PGA Tour. Birdie at 14. Oh yes, he's galloping a bit. So birdies at 12 and 14, steadying the ship. A couple over for his round, 12 under. Runner-up in the Players' Championship earlier this year. $620,000 for a second-place finish.
While the clans are massing out here, tremendous galleries all down each side of this fairway surrounding the green. 159 yards for Mark Warren, playing a little 7-iron hin. This is a very, very narrow target, but he quite favours the little low ones. Little punch 3/4, curtailed.
And that's pretty good. And difficult to get it all the way back there. Just sneaked inside the mark that sees you slip away off the tour.
Well, Kelson hasn't got quite such an easy angle as Mark Warren, although maybe I should hesitate to use the word easy, because there are certain fingers on this green that are just so narrow that the landing areas are minute. Debating with his caddy a little 9 or wedge. It just depends how conservative the player feels here. A wee bit more conservative, he's going sort of 2/3 of the way back, just slightly left of the flag. If he's very brave, he'll go straight at it. But the risks are high. Decided on the little 9.
Deck of an aircraft carrier, missed left, it falls in the sea, missed right, it topples into the sea as well. It'll be an awkward little chip and putt from there. It is manageable.
Now one of these players in 17 under has to start to make a move towards Mark Warren if he's to be challenged. Molinari for 3 on the 13th, has it. So Molinari closes to within 2. After that drop shot on the 12th, a welcome return. So the state of play at the moment, Mark Warren still out in front after his very impressive round, 5 under for the day. 2 shots clear now of Francesco Molinari, with Jeev Milka Singh in the clubhouse, setting a target.
What a day it'd be for Mark Warren. Open spot, winner of the Aberdeen Asset Management Scottish Open, £420,000, 2-year exemption. It's a little squeaky period of golf here, but he's got it in his hands now. He's under control. He's got the tournament in his grasp. Getting a little bit further down the boards. Martin Laird, not been a great day for him, or his playing partner Phil Mickelson, both 2 over for the day. We expected better things. Stephen Gallagher, he was also seeking an open place, like so many players were here not to be. Luke Donald, defending champion, also 2 over. Marcel Siem, winner last week, closing with a 69. But up at the top, Mark Warren still out in front, but only by 2 now from Francesco Molinari. I saw on having a look where Thomas Levay hit it. He used to hit it a little bit further up the bank. You can almost go up to the rough.
See how he gets on in a moment, but back on the tee.
Francesco Molinari, this looks like his aggressive move. There's a bunker down there.
Very hard bounce, but
yeah, it's okay.
It's perfect, isn't it? Aggressive play, as you say. If he'd absolutely flushed it and got a shooting bounce, he may have just reached the bunker. Ideal.
Now Kelson, here he goes up there. Will it work? I think it will. Come on. A little bit unlucky, just needs to be further up to get more pace and gather down closer, but the right idea and nearly the right execution. Trouble is you throw it further up and then it sticks and you look a bit silly. State of affairs, Mark Warren 2 in front, and as we mentioned, Jeev Milka Singh setting the target there with his 67. Let's get his thoughts now. Talking to Hazel.
Jeev, you just said to me, I love links golf, and you've clearly proven it today. A flawless round of 67. What do you think has sparked you into life this week? Because we know you played well at the Irish a couple of weeks ago as well.
I think the Irish got me started. I've always loved links golf because I think a lot of imagination, a lot of feels required, and you know, coming from India, I'm not used to links golf, but you know, since I've been playing in Europe, I've played a lot of links courses and I just love it.
It is really lovely to see you back because you've struggled so badly over the last couple of years with back injuries. And what's been your priority this season when it comes to your health?
A lot of yoga, a lot of training, making sure my core is strong enough to hold my back, staying away from the injuries by just working out and staying fit. And I think if a player is fit, for sure, I think mentally you feel much better, and the game starts coming back and the confidence builds and you start putting some good numbers on the board.
Well, it got serious for a while, didn't it? Because I know you gave up your PGA Tour card in America as well to try and get yourself fit. So what can you expect of yourself in the coming weeks as a consequence of this showing here?
It's given me a lot of confidence, and from this I've got to build on that. I'm feeling fit, and I think good things are on my way in the future.
One last thing, Jeev. Peter Alliss in the commentary box was remembering fondly your dad's efforts at the 1960 Rome Olympics, and I know you, for one, would love to be an Olympian as well. And Rio 2016, a real target for you?
Yes, for sure. I would love to do that, represent India in the Olympics, and that's my goal. And if I can do it, my dad did it 50 years ago. If I could do it, it'll be a treat for the family.
Well played today. Thanks very much, Jeev.
Thank you.
Well played indeed. Now, the man who holds the lead on the 14th. That little rumple in the green, he's got to come down. Well, he was walking after it. I thought he was walking after it as if he was displeased with his work. It was a very, very good putt. Another par safely in the bag. And listen to the acclaim for Mark Warren. Turns towards the 15th, 2 shots clear. Another one just touches the edge of the hole for little Soren. Dane, who lives in Ascot. His family with him this week. 2 little kids wandered around in practice. Emil and Mads. They'll be out there watching somewhere, hoping Dad's going to have a good finish. Alexander Noren, this for his par on the 15th, right in the middle. You see, he's pumped up for this. He's lifted himself up today. 3 under for his round. Tied for 3rd with Jeev Milka Singh. Henrik Stenson had it going for a while. 3 under in the front 9. A couple of drop shots in the back 9. Might get one back here.
7 behind the leader.
Well, that's what Francesco Molinari faces. Favouring the left side. Not a bad line in.
Yeah, not only a good line, but because he was aggressive, just 137 yards remaining, almost directly into the wind at this angle.
Sounded pretty sweet. He's overdrawn it. That's it. Oh, that's a huge break. Huge break. It just topples off the edge of the green. He's in Soren and Leve country. Oh, it's virtually saved him a stroke. Better be quick, because it might topple.
Mickelson not happen for Philly today. His thoughts will be heading south.
There are 2 very smart executive jets parked in Inverness Airport. One belongs to P. Harrington, the other belongs to P. Mickelson.
They could share and give one of them to us.
Well, not the easiest tee shot at the 15th.
Well, tied up the left here on 15 gives you the best line in, but with the breeze hard left to right, that's a big call. And you just wonder, Ken, when does he start to play conservatively? You know, do you just keep playing with the way and the attacking game that's got you here, or do you throttle back a little bit?
Well, he's got the little fairway wood out here, a little easy to draw a 3-wood. Crowd like it, sit down. Oh, he's been, well, he could be lucky or he could be unlucky.
It's right up by us in our studio.
Well, he's in the trodden area there. It's a bit soggy. There's 1 or 2 wet patches. I actually saw him up here. I don't know whether it was the first or second round. He popped it in the right-hand rough. Needs a bit of lady luck.
Kelson out with a driver.
These last holes all crosswind. We've had quite a number into the wind. The wind's just quartered round a bit. It seems more northerly now. And that will bring its own problems with these closing holes.
Well, what it does for Warren, it means the 16th will be a massive hit to reach the shortest par 4, because the wind is more cross left to right than behind than it was. But 17 and 18 will play a little easier. They were almost directly into the breeze at one stage.
Well, let's see if we can round off Henrik Stenson with an eagle on the last. It's a rather tall order. So Henrik Stenson will not be here for the Open. Not a bad finish here, but not quite good enough.
Well, Francesco Molinari was fortunate, but yeah, he's left himself a bit of a challenging shot here for his birdie. And of course, that's what he needs right now, birdies. The last challenging shot he had was on the 12th, and he didn't play that one very well. Need a good imagination.
It's one of those coming down the hill, you think it might, and I don't think it really is. And just as with a yard to go, you think, you know, it could just catch the edge. It's a little pacey.
And he knows the score. There are leaderboards everywhere, and he's had a glance or two. 2 behind.
Hanson.
Pretty rotten day for Anders Hansen. Another shot goes. 3 bogeys today, no birdies. Must hole. And does. 2 behind, 4 to play.
Well, 15's the hardest hole on the course. 17's the second hardest. Funny enough, 16's the easiest.
Far from a done deal. Lots of interesting holes to come.
A lot depends on where Mark Warren's ball has ended up. A decent distance up.
We shall find out as they go to the 15th tee, up ahead in the rough, and that doesn't look too bad. Could have been worse.
Guys, we're coming right over the top here there.
It's not lying too badly. Mark Warren's golf ball out here on the right of 15. It, as Andrew so rightly said, it was in the trampled area, so it's pretty decent for being as wide as it is from his preferred spot. You know, the thing is, he's got a totally blind spot now, blind shot, can't see anything, can see the top of our TV tower at the back of the green, so needs to go a good bit right of that.
The ball's sitting on the top of the turf, but where that grass is lying across him, he's just got to be careful, particularly that little strawy bit behind the ball. You can easily grab the club, particularly with the ball slightly above your feet. You can get the club on it. And with the pin on the back left, it's not a bad angle, though he's unsighted, but that's one of those ones you just got to be a little wary, not be over-aggressive.
Stenson to finish with a 4. Around a 70 for Henrik Stenson. Again, threatened so much more when he was out in 33. A couple of bogeys coming home, the 1 birdie at the last. 8th place, another good finish.
Yeah, 69, 69, 66, 70. So excellent tournament for Stenson. I suppose the green line, we can see the TV tapper, or perhaps you can, it's just sticking out the top of the right-hand mound. It's in that direction. How far has he got, Maureen?
Coming in from the right-hand side, as he is,
That 9 yesterday.
There we see where the drive's finished of Warden and Kelson.
Only 165 to the front edge of the green, but coming in across a lot of fussy contours, so he's got to be careful.
Oh, hand comes off. Where is this going? 4 right, they cry. There is a lot of trouble out there. Oh, he's got to be lucky. And I think he might have been peering down at it.
It was a dangerous, if you were trying to be a bit aggressive, you had to probably that sort of one, if you're practicing, you put a little rescue and bunt it forward. He's been a little fortunate. He doesn't know, it's completely unsighted over the top of the hill. As far as he's concerned, it's in his mind, he's thinking he's landed in the middle of a clump of heather.
Well, there are 2 shots in it. Warren in a little bit of bother. Molinari will be watching all this from the tee behind and waiting. Quietly plotting. Kelson playing alongside Warren. Just a 3-wood for Molinari.
The perfect tee shot is just left of centre, because that gives you a view of the green. If you leak it to the right, you're unsighted.
See the wind hitting that one. It's fine, but as Ken was saying, won't see all of the pin.
Thomas Levay, 17, 206 yards today, par 3. Bad. Anything sort of leaks right of the pin tends to drift further and further to the right and can get gobbled up by the sand. Going with a driver. Tee shot up the hill, you hit to the crest of the hill, you're slightly unsighted to the actual landing area. And quite a dangerous tee shot with the wind coming off the left. Started down the left, is it coming back? It is just far enough, perfect.
Well, look at that for a lie for Mark Warren, Ken.
And there was a wry little smile as he walked up to his ball, and his caddy looked at the shot and said, putter, which I think is a bit of a kind of overreaction. He's got quite a valley to come through. And precision of strike is everything, but plenty of green to work with.
Well, that's a ginormous break. Was it a little path, is it, or something he's found?
Yes, it's the walkway through to the next tee. It's very tight lie, Ken. You need a strong nerve.
Tight lie, bit of grip as it landed, but he will still be thankful. He has to hold that for his par, though. Again, it could have been much worse. Could have been in the bush.
What a huge bit of good fortune.
Look at what he missed down the right there.
Yeah, I know, he missed. Amazing good break. Sometimes it just happens. That could have been a lost ball. There's one or two areas there that could have gone plummeting into the gorse bushes. The 16, good tee shot from Alex Norrin. He would have been able to reach this green easily an hour and a half ago. Jeeves Milker-Singh got there with a bit of a swerving one. So this hole playing a little longer, the wind more across than behind. He just loves these little low spinners, doesn't he, Andrew? They skid, skid, skid.
He's got the natural swing for it, doesn't have to alter his normal swing much, but he's a player who could still 17 under, up and down here. Green all runs away from it. It's easy to be a little over bowled. Oh dear. He loves these shots.
That was one of those ones that you could almost see him lift his head up, couldn't you? Might have been a bit of a soggy lie. Well, he's trying to drill it in low, but he just catches behind the ball. It's one of those ones. Watch his head though. Just sort of having a peek through the ball. Well, that's his. Well, I don't say his chances over. They're very limited now.
Very easy to leave this one short.
Oh, he's given this one a race. Needs a calm head now. He's hardly put a foot wrong so far, Mark Warren.
Interesting that he's finishing off here. I've got that feeling he's not rushing it or anything like that, but he's wanting to get it over with. Oh no. Now he has opened the sluice gates. Double bogey 6. He just seemed to be a little hurried with that putt.
Joint leaders of the Scottish Open. His two-shot lead goes in one fell horrible swoop at the 15th. Got a lucky break, didn't take advantage of it. This man sits alongside him now. We've got a cracking finish in our hands.
Wasn't expecting that, that's for certain. After that huge break for Warren. And old Jeeves still sitting in there nicely at 17 under.
And Norrin, after duffing it at the 16th, gone with a putter now.
Have that for his par.
The way it is, we good. You think it's a good one of these, yeah?
Oh, well, an interesting situation all of a sudden now for Francesco Molinari.
Got it?
182 yards left, and actually got a good angle coming from this right side with whole position only 5 paces from the left edge of the green, wind off the left as well. You can bring it in, and the green slopes a little bit towards the hole position. Chance to pull off a good shot here. It's a 6-iron.
Just waiting for the crowd reaction as to know where it's gone. He obviously knew it was on a good line, but just half a club short. 5 top 10s in his last 7 events on the European Tour. 1 in May in the Spanish Open.
Yes, he's got the bit between his teeth now.
I don't think he'll know at this stage that, in fact, he certainly wouldn't know that Mark Warren had taken a double bogey, so he still thinks he's got to make some birdies.
A year ago, he was walking down to the 18th green, heading for the title. Not to be this year for Luke Donald. One over for his round today. 72 turning his thoughts to Lytham.
Well, Luke's had 3 weeks off. He was coming here just to sharpen up his game. He's shown signs of brilliance. But not quite on top of his game, as I don't think he expected to be.
What you don't want after a double bogey is a weight in the tee to fester and smoulder. Mark Warren does the 16th. He can get very near to the green. Has to wait.
Goodness, this little short par 4 is causing problems. This is Peter Whiteford's chance of a par, and makes it. Don't know where he's been. 14 under. In the top 10. 10th position is £50,000.
LeVay still scrapping away.
Just to stay at 17 under. This for a par after his muffed little pitch. He's done it. That is a really brave putt for Alex Noren. So still a bogey-free round. Almost feels like a birdie. 17 under. Ooh. Once he sees that leaderboard, he'll be thinking, I've really got a chance here.
Well, a moment ago he's 3 behind and a duffed a pitch. Now he's just 1 behind. We'll go back to the 15th, Hanson, who's a member of the supporting cast now. See how the defending champion can finish off with a lip out. In she goes. Rounds of 67, 68, 68 and 73 for Luke Donald to finish with. It's the world #1. Heads down, not as winner this week, but with a smile and thoughts that his game is pretty near.
Yes, I think he's trying to go to the majors, and he knows he's good enough, as you would do, being world #1. He just wants to go and play, in his mind, a normal regular tournament and find his best game, and maybe it'll come at Lytham, because he's got the perfect game for Lytham's hands. Good scrambler, keeps the ball in play. It's not a long golf course, Royal Lytham.
Oh, drop shot.
Francesco Molinari for a birdie at 15. Uphill all the way. Oh, nice effort.
Left himself one that's slightly longer than Warren's.
Well, Jeeve Milkersing's sitting there in the clubhouse, 17 under. Not sure it's going to be good enough, but he's got a chance.
Still waiting on the 16th tee.
Well, maybe they're waiting for the green to clear, I'm not sure. So he obviously thinks he can drive it. It's a mighty biff. 337 yards to the middle of the green on 16 from the back tee.
Right, here's a test. No. He too has been undone by that putt from that side of the hole. And Molinari's turn to take stock. Just a few yards away on the 16th tee, ready to go. Mark Warren is going to be the sole leader again.
Well, he missed a 4-footer one of the early rounds, but that's certainly the only one of that range he's missed all week, and what a time to do it.
And again, Singh comes back into it even more, and Noren.
And this man is the outright leader.
I don't think he's got lucky there. Well, again, he's staring down at it, the chap in the red cap.
And he's gone outside the rope line again where the people have walked, so he may have got a good break.
Nerves are kicking in now. But look at what he could have been in, and perhaps he's found some trampled down stuff again. This man is not in a bad position at all. On the 17th. Just one behind Warren at the moment.
Peter Whiteford. Not too bad. A little unlucky. It was his tee shot just sat up on the top of the hill.
Well, they're ready for the long wait now. They're going to be parked there for a while. It's all getting rather tense. And look at what Noren's left himself here in the 17th.
Well, he's had a massive break as well, because that is a squiffy one, because ideally you're aiming left of the pin. He's come down the right. He's found a decent lie. He's playing up the hill. He's got a bit of landing area. The pin is 23 on 5 from the right, so he's got 5 yards of green to land it on, but fortunate, good lie. Nice soft hands, just pop it up in the air, not too sharp on it.
And nice after the wee fluff in the last as well.
Well, the plot thickens. It really does.
If there is to be a playoff, it's down the 18th again. Sudden death, then they'd go off to the 15th if they're still not settled. Oh dear. Now is that the ball of Mark Warren? I said he might have been lucky, but that is not lucky.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Warren is just walking past me, yet to learn the fate of his golf ball, and it's nestled well down into the heather. Now, these are strong lads. He's only got to move it sort of 10 yards over a clump of heather, and then the green will, the contours will sweep the ball onto the green. It just depends how he feels about it. I think he can get the club in at the back of the ball, but we all look at heather, don't we, and decide how, you know, we can manage something that's incredibly wiry and tough. But it's, I think he might take this one on.
Yeah, this is one of those ones. He's looking at the possibilities of dropping it. It's so hard to tell. This heather can grab your club. There's the thick and bristly stuff down below to Peter Whiteford.
Well, everyone's chasing a prize, some chasing open qualification, some chasing the title itself. And Peter Whiteford just wants a good finish. Needs some big money in this rather barren season.
A huge putt here for Alex Noren. In it goes, 17 under. So he's tied Molinari, G. Milkersink in the clubhouse, Mark Warren at 18 under, but lying in a nasty patch of heather, and looks like he's going to drop it more in. It's one of those ones you could have a dig at it, but if it didn't come off, you'd be probably dropping the next one.
Interesting, Maureen talked about the wind having quartered round and being more left to right in 15 and 16, and that's, but he's obviously not been comfortable. He's left the tee shot out to the right in the 15th and in the 16th, and he's paying the price.
Well, it's probably a prudent call. He's obviously decided that this is his best chance of making 4. That's what he's got to have in his mind now. Scorecard doesn't draw pictures. He's got to get out of here with a 4 if he possibly can. He's aware of the situation behind him. Once again, he's right by a scoreboard. It would be impossible not to see exactly what's going on. But he's got about 50 yards now that he wants to throw this, and a flat little piece of green leading up to the flag. But from where he's standing, that flag must look as if it's almost dipping its toes in the firth, right on the back edge of this green. Nerve-wracking times.
Needs to come on. So a man here who to be sinking without trace yesterday when he took an 8 in the 12th, but he's right back into it now. He may shortly be in a tie for the lead.
And the wind a bit more across than against now. If he gets one of his huge thumpers away, I think he likes it.
Well, I heard a firm sound, a fairway sounding bounce.
He's got a fairway look on as well. He's looking forward to having a shot at this green if he can hit it down there far enough. Back to the 16th.
Well, Mark Warren studying this one. It's some distance. Anything in it, Maureen?
Well, you know, the 3 putt on the last really did come out of nowhere, because there probably couldn't have been an easier putt on the last green. It was uphill, very slow. I thought he might leave it a bit short, you know, being tentative. This one's got a bit more in it. He's got a little swing from left to right, and he's just, you know, he rushed the second putt in the last hole. He's back to now just into the rhythm of it, trying to take a few deep breaths. This would be a 4 of all 4s.
Just doesn't want to be over bowled. Even if he misses it, he's still tied for the lead. This is not time for heroics. Still a lot of golf to be played. Sit down. Okay.
Well, behind Molinari. Not waiting for the green to clear. Doesn't have quite the same power. There it is, and that's a very, very good position coming round. Oof, that's not far away at all. Hitting right down the line of the green as well with his second shot.
All Mark Warren can do is concern himself with his own ball and hitting it as few times as he can. I have to say, Soren has had some hole skirters today. $15 under. You never know, birdie finish, but he could have really done with that one. Take your time, Mark. It still looks a bit as if someone's pushing him. Well done.
A man who was without blemish for 14 holes, double bogey in 15, bogey in 16. We have a four-way tie for the lead.
Thomas, always a crowd pleaser. This for a birdie at 18. Yes, well done. Round in 70. 11 to 33, back in 37, 15 under par. But when you've missed your last 10 cuts, that must feel like winning. Excellent, excellent effort.
Just don't jump into the muddy first to celebrate. So look at it now. We talked about Jeev Milka Singh with his 67. We thought, well, probably going to be a shot or two too many, but there he is in the clubhouse in 17 under, along with Norrin and Warren and Molinari, and Peter Alliss is back with us for the exciting denouement.
Denouement? Oh, well. Yeah, that putt of Milka Singh's was hugely important. He putted the 16th from long range, but it's very sad, this lad. You see, the nerves got to it. You can't wrap it up any other way. He's just became very conscious of the occasion, and he wasn't able to swing the same way he's been swinging that last hour, and he's paid the penalty.
But all is not lost.
All is not lost.
If you can gather yourself together.
I totally agree, but I wouldn't bet my life savings on him at this moment.
Well, you probably bet your savings on this fella, but a 3-4 finish, 18 under is going to look.
It's never nice to see people collapsing around you, even though it may not be total disaster for them golfing wise. But Laird for a par. Warren's waiting to play his shot. Oh, it's all happening. Muscles tighten up. At this moment, there's umpteen players at 10 under, 11 under, and 12 under. Suddenly the field all bunched together. Is one of these four going to leap in and get a birdie, or get a 2, or do something that's going to just break the deadlock? Only a few holes left.
Well, 17's given 1 birdie away today, Peter, and the 18th 8 birdies. So it doesn't give too many away, those last 2 holes.
Well done, Phil. He's spotted today. Peter Probyn celebrating his 65th birthday on St Swithin's Day. He's had a good time watching Mickelson play, a golfing enthusiast from Dorset.
Well, 206 yards, and standing on this tee, you don't have the feel like you had on the other days that there are birdies really to be had out here now. This closing stretch into quite a hefty breeze. 4-iron for Kelson. Pin hard on the right-hand side. He's going to try and aim this on our TV tower in the centre of the green and hope it feeds down to the flag.
Nice little bounce up. That's why you've got to admire the regular winners, Ken, haven't you? Who do this time and time again, and they've found a way of controlling their nerves and their emotions at the really critical times.
Well, it's a 4-iron for our Scotsman.
Nice punchy shot. Well, I don't know quite what happened there. He seemed to give it a good thump, but wrong club maybe.
To the 18th, and looks like he's laying up. It must just be out of range for him. He's cutting the corner off though, so that just leave himself a little pitch into the green. joint leaders.
Ooh. It just stopped short of the crowd, I think. Well, somebody's got to reach out and snatch this. You never know. This Molinari's second shot at the 16th. What he wouldn't give for a chip and a putt. Has he hit it? Has he hit it? Yeah, he has. It's gathering speed. Doing very nicely for pace. Excellent. He looks very calm, I must say, but well, I know he's not. And the level of expectation is so high. He looks such a good player, Ken.
It was just that momentary lapse of concentration, momentary lapse of concentration. He got a huge break on the 15th to find the gap in the gorse bushes, and all he had to do was pitch it on the green, 2-putt 5. Most people were making 5 on that hole, or a number were, but...
Oh, not over, I agree, but it's when you know your mind is
Yes.
racing under these circumstances. It's very difficult to concentrate on the job in hand.
And the swing he put on the last tee shot, the 17th, was definitely a man who's just trying to, please just squirt it up there somewhere. I've lost a little bit of confidence.
And this is a huge putt. Well, he's had a few of those this week, but there's only a handful of holes, 2 or 3 holes left. And a birdie here would be very nice.
It's always the case. You miss a short putt on one hole, you get to the very next hole, it's exactly the same distance that you missed. But when he made bogey on 12, he came back with a birdie at 13. He's just bogeyed 15. This for a birdie at 16.
To lead. Oh no.
Just pushed him in, didn't he? Just struck it out to the right corner.
Dear.
Nobody wants it, Ken. Nobody wants to win, you see, the week before the championship. This fella does, I'm sure. Hello, hello. Molinari tapping in. Chance missed.
Well, that was his moment. That was definitely his big chance, because as I say, birdies on 17, well, there's been one. Birdies on 18, there have been just a few.
Well, this was an iron for safety, but he hasn't ended up in a very safe spot.
Yeah, that was a really poor layout, because it's a very generous area up there, and the critical thing was to find the short grass. Now he's giving himself the possibility of taking 6. It's interesting we had those emails about this course maybe a little bit too easy.
Yeah. Well, that was the first 3 days. One fellow went out for a walk. He was so bored with it all. Not today.
I'm just asking. Yeah. Obviously, you got to take, do like these strategies and pop. I'm just asking.
I don't think it'd go any further than the hill was if I get it over this hill.
Okay.
Lots of debate. What's the first prize, Ken? 450,000?
420 grand. 275 second. 150 for third. 50,000 for 10th.
Not too bad, eh? Not sure about that.
Yeah.
There we are.
Really, all you can do is sort of bully this somewhere on the green from this sort of position. He's all above the feet.
Almost down to the metal with his right hand. Break your wrist quickly and stab it. Gave it quite a hefty thump, didn't he? Oh, it's only just made it over the rough stuff. Still quite a long way away. He's had 3.
Up the slope for Mark Warren. Save his par.
Oh, it's right on line, isn't it?
Double, then bogey out of nowhere. Moves from 20 under to 16 under. And it's going to be one of those days when the music stops. I wonder who's going to be left standing.
Heads or tails? Oh, Noren electing to leave the flag in, so he must be just off the green. He's a long way away, and there's lots of humps and hollers in between.
I tell you what, you need a really good shot here at 17. 206 yards into the wind, just a little bit of rain dropping right now. Molinari going with a hybrid club. Nothing but a pure strike, a pure shot. Try and keep it on line will suffice.
Well, if anyone could do it, he can. Not enough.
What do you think G. Milka Singh's thinking, sitting there?
Well,
his couple of bovril.
we did say when he had that putt at the 16th, this could be the winning putt, and well, he didn't hold it, so you never know. But it's still a wonderful performance from him. Noren, long putt, final hole. He can't do it again, can he? Great effort. Tremendous putt. Just looks in a hurry, doesn't he, thank God? I mean, you know, most of them saunter along, but he really does look as if he's got somewhere to go. White trousers now, all the rage. Penny for your thoughts, Mark. Penny for your thoughts. The old caddy would be thinking too, Ken. All that lovely bonus drifting away.
Well, we've all been there, whether it's our monthly medal,
yeah,
whether we've
absolutely.
had Open Championships at stake. It's
yeah, just once more into the bridge, dear friend.
Singh, Noren and Molinari all 17 under. Mark Warren 16 under. Peter Whiteford nudging his in before Warren. Well done. A super week for Peter Whiteford. Cotter is home. There it is, 72 blows, 14 under. Currently tied for 8th. May change, but a top 10.
Yep, 5 bogeys, 5 birdies. Yeah, just those costly ones again, but that's very nice playing. 14 under.
Had a hole-in-one this week as well, so he's...
Hole-in-one, champagne. A bottle of champagne for every yard of the hole. This fella got a hole-in-one, he only got a Magnum. I'd have at least given him a case of Bass or something.
Well, he needs this one, Pierre. It's a little sort of Doug Sanders-y.
Yeah, it is indeed, and he's fussing.
He's fussing?
He's fussing, he's relining it up, and he's busy. All his movements are a bit quicker than they might be.
And he's one of these chaps that rams them in. He doesn't take fiddle away the brakes.
Yeah, steady, middle of the hole. He was fussing. It's extraordinary, isn't it? You know, I've seen it done. I've done it myself, so I know. I do occasionally know what I'm talking about. That's another small ominous bit. Perfect drive down the last hole, 6.
bad layout though. He had to find the fairway to keep control of the ball.
You were absolutely right. The poor layout, generous area. Off he goes in a huff. Take that.
So Jeeves still sitting there, pretty at the top of the leaderboard,
Absolutely.
67.
And that's no pushover to get down in 2 from here.
Well, after the couple of short putts that Francesco Molinari's missed last couple of greens, you'd love to see this inside 2 feet. But I guess even more, what a time to hold a big putt. This for an eagle. This for a birdie, sorry.
Oh, 25 yards or so.
Hurry, 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 hurry. It's doing well.
Doing better than I thought it would. That's magic. That really was a touch of magic. Pressure really is enormous, and of course golf appears to be such a gentle and genteel game, just strolling along, whacking the ball about. But I can assure you the inner turmoil is worse sometimes than these reflex games where it all happens in a split second and you don't have all that much time to think about it.
Well, finally, Mark Warren, and he's got to put out of his mind, if he can, what's happened in the last 20 minutes. He's got to make good decisions down this hole.
The lead is 17 under, he's 16 under. That's not too bad over there. Not going to reach in 2, but a good position to lay up from. Easy for the Colonel to get the yardage.
Laird walking off down the front there. Generous applause for Phil Mickelson, favourite visitor to our shores.
He slipped away from his family holiday to get here.
Good pro, isn't he? Good, gets good value for money.
Laird from a little upslope.
They're suddenly all getting a little bit shy. Nobody running at the hole. Five bogeys for Laird, 3 birdies. Just keeping out of the wind. Who looks happiest, the dog or him?
I drove past them
We started at 17 under. Molinari's currently at 17 under. He's got a bit of a wait because Mark Warren isn't anywhere near reaching his ball yet in front of him.
What were we, 10 under on the first day? That led the way, didn't it?
10 under the first day,
since
yes.
Since then we've only got 7 under pars.
Laird very nearly reached this green to the 18th. Chipped up to here with his 3rd. He's going to have the simplest of pars.
I reckon that's about 74. Got off to a bad start. You see, 5-5 and a 6 at the 6th. From there on, it wasn't too bad. He was good, in fact, from there on. damage was done early on.
Mickelson started the day at 14 under, now at 12. This to go to 13 under.
Oh, just a bit short of pace again. Now he'll collect his bits and pieces and off to Royal Lytham Dance. And he'll be in a relatively good mood, I'd say, Ken. He's, you know, struck some good shots.
Yeah. Well, 73, 64, 65, his middle round's pretty impressive. 74 today.
73, 74, yes. That's Yeltsin. Punching one down. Safely down.
His pilot, Mickelson's pilot and co-pilot will be revving up the jet.
Stand still back there, please.
No, not a bad lie. They're going away between the tents and the clubhouse. Oh, hit that fella. It's a little bit lucky. Came back on the fairway. No damage done.
I tell you what, I can't believe how some of these holes have changed so drastically from one day to the next, with this wind changing direction and being really strong, and it's cold out here as well. 18th hole become a beast.
This is another unique thing about golf, Ken. Those two standing on the 17th tee, the wind blowing, it's huge amount of prestige and money to play for, and they're chatting away like two old chums just out for a Sunday afternoon and playing for half a pint of shandy.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
But that's part of the charm and the beauty. And
yes, the beauty of golf, it's you against the course. You're not playing anybody. That's Mark Warren. He's not playing against anybody else. He's fighting himself on the golf course.
Now Hanson. Final pair. Final hole. Has it gone right a bit? I don't know. A lukewarm applause. Should be on the fairway. Now Molinari. Four to win. That was a bit lukewarm. He's hit pretty well every fairway. There he is. It's a good start, but it'll have to be a pitch and a putt. Oh, we're into a playoff. Extraordinary, Andrew, the closing stages of any golf tournament. Of course it happens in any sport, cricket, probably the last minutes. Can we score a goal? Can we take a wicket? Here, everything for a number of these players an hour and a half ago, you could see them, they were striking the ball well, holding the putts, and suddenly the holes start running out and the tension starts to build and mistakes creep in.
Yeah, an hour ago this man was 3 shots clear. He's had a little bit of a break, as we saw with his second shot. Just a little in off the toe. Jeev Milka Singh will be waiting in the players' lounge, waiting and rubbing his hands with glee. He's looking pretty good at the moment after his 67. You'd have to say that Francesco Molinari perhaps still a slight favourite if he can get a 4 down there, and he's found the fairway, but Warren has to make a birdie.
Well, Hanson could hold this out. It's been done before. We've seen longer shots than this hold. Hello. It's funny, they all seem to quicker. Everything's done quicker. The great players, great players, always seem to be calmer the tighter the situation. Got the line, not the distance. There's no point in having a thrash at it, is there? Because you can just get it down there, left-hand side. But on the fairway, on a flattish bit of ground.
Well, 152 yards to go, right into this wind, just quartered round. His heart must be absolutely thumping now. He's got a 7-iron. And a 5 won't see him out of this tournament necessarily.
Steady. Oh, yes, it's okay. Oh, stay there.
Yes, it's rolled back a bit. So Molinari, it's simple 3-shotter for him. So he hasn't got the
blue flag. 30 meters to the middle of the hospitality. So
chat with his caddy. Jason Hempelman, the man on the bag. He knows he has to hold the putt, and if he could hold that putt and somehow emerge in a playoff, that's the only way he can get into the Open now. I know that's not what he's really thinking about. He's thinking about the title, but Jeev Milka Singh has a higher world ranking than Mark Warren. That's how it's settled if two men are tied who are trying for the final Open place.
Well, we wish him well.
come on, a bit quicker than that, if you don't mind.
Now, Molinari's got a, well, we used to call it a 4-wood in the old days, or a 5-wood, or that sort of. It's a degree of rescue clubs now, aren't there, with the lofts of a 3-4 iron. Where do you think? Right between the tent and the clubhouse? That sort of direction?
He was saying picking a blue flag is the chat he had with his caddy. One right in the corner there.
Nice frame. Very good.
Nice flan, says Jason. There you go. Good layup.
Yeah, beauty.
Said layup. Layup was just about all he had.
They were 20 yards back on you there.
Hanson. Now, we've seen this putt a few times today. Comes a little bit from the right. There's a few little rolls in the green. Come around. It's in. If it runs, oh. Little tap in for 72. 35-37 if he taps this one in, which he does. 15 under, good week's work, but only 2 birdies.
Well, it's got to go. It's a shame. But the damage was done a few holes ago on the 15th and the 16th. And the 17th. Really on the 15th when he three-putted from no distance.
Wayward tee shot. Well, warm applause, but for what might have been 3 drop shots. Rather vulgar to say how much money that costs, but 200,000.
Yesterday those two walked off smiling arm in arm, but today it's only consolation from Kelson to Warren. A hard one to take.
Through the tunnel and up to the scorer's hut and check the card and get ready for the chat and the commiserations and the well, you did well, it's pretty good. The boss, the man there, George O'Grady, who runs the European Tour, he waits back there and get down. If you get down in 2, he's done it. There's great excitement. And if he can't, there will be a playoff and they'll go back up the hill, the 18th. They'll be driven up there in an open top buggy, and then they'll play the 18th, see how they get on, and if they're still level they do it again and they go back and they play the 15th and then the 18th. The idea is, of course, to get a finish in front of the crowds, in front of the grandstand. Now Hanson.
This will at least give Molinari a good idea of what his shot might do. A similar shot.
They've all been short, Andrew. We haven't seen one up to the flag.
I wonder if Molinari can do it. He's birdie to win.
Well, he certainly can do it. You see, looking at the green, you could see, even with the 2-dimensional cameras, the humps and the bumps in that green. The flag well towards the back, and if you land it in the middle front, it's into the upslope. It won't go forward. You could really afford to pitch this within 3 yards of the flag. Big moment.
Come on then. Give us a good one.
All those shots you've hit in practice. Just one more. Just one more. Pulled it. Tweaked it. You know, it could be off the grid. No, it's stuck. There's a touch of nerves. No, he's got. No, he could 3-putt and Jeeve Milker. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're going into the realms of fantasy.
But who would have thought Jeeve Milker Singh when he finished? We thought it was a decent score when he posted 17 under, but we did not imagine that he might win without even being troubled by a playoff. I still fancy Molinari to get down in 2, and he absolutely has to, but he's missed a couple of putts.
Well, at this moment, only 25 players have broken par. And there was about 78 runners, 79 runners. So that just shows you, after all the birdies of the previous 3 days and the wonderful scoring, 25 players, 71 or better today. Oh, poor laddie. Well, he's been around a long time and he has won, he has played at the highest level, but something has just held him back. Just got to go through that door when the opportunity comes. And those that can do. And the others just make a good living. Well, I wonder if you'll get it up to the hole now. If you're a gentle betting man, would you have a shilling or two he reaches the hole or not?
I would bet, knowing that he has to get down in 2, that he will not get it all the way to the hole, I think.
Well, one thing for sure, he's got to forget those little putts he missed on 15 and 16. He had a lot of confidence, though, with that third, because he only had 133 yards into the wind and tried to hit just a little 6-iron. In a situation like that, you got to have confidence in your ability, and last minute he just swung a little bit too easy.
What was that third shot he played with there?
It was a 6-iron from 133.
Was it, big golly?
Yeah. But obviously swung a little too easy, and that's why he pulled it left. But
just tweaked it.
Of course, if he does hold this one, he's a winner.
Yeah, but he's, what is he, 25 yards away?
It's tough, yeah. He's going down into a bit of a swale and then up a ridge, and then it goes slightly back down to the hole.
Does it go left to right at the end over the top of the hill? Yeah,
yeah, left to right, yeah.
Well, he's putted some beauties, some long range, and this is a long, long putt. Over the top. Oh dear. I can't stand it. My old heart won't stand this, you know.
Jeev Milka Singh sitting, eating a scone, a cup of tea in the players' lounge, is looking very, very good.
He might be having a cup of tea or a... I don't know. There they go. They really are looked after terribly well. It's a very comfortable life. It's very stressful.
Anders Hansen, long birdie putt. In a group tied 11th at the moment, so a bit of money if he rolls this one in. He might have done.
Hanson's not had one birdie today. Played some steady stuff, hasn't held a putt, 3 bogeys. $75. Now, and he can afford to be bold. You're not going to race it miles by, are you, when you're in? There might be a little bit of swing on this, you know, and it... Well, if you can, give it a nice free swing, and they'll keep your head still. Got to hold it. If he does, there's a playoff. If not... Oh, he's done it. Well, what an effort. Kept his nerve, struck it beautifully. Kept it all on tenterhooks, eh?
Well, Nerves have been failing many others in the final few holes, and they seem to be failing him as well with that first putt. But that was stern stuff from Francesco Molinari, and now he bounds forward into the playoff with Jeev Milka Singh.
Well, back they go. They've got to check the scorecards first. And then they will go back up the hill. They'll be taken back up the hill. Jeev Milka Singh. So India versus Italy. And this is the 4th playoff we've had this season. All around, we've had, what were they? Brandon Grace, Ernios, that Retief Goose. There were 3 of them involved there. Volvo champions, and Bubba beat Louis Hoosthuizen at the Masters in April. Danny Willett beat Marcus Fraser, BMW International. And this will be the 5th playoff in the history of the Scottish Open. Goes back to 1972 when Neil Coles beat Brian Huggett.
Oh, so they'll clear all the stampeding crowds. They'll be ushered off the 18th because it comes down there.
Yeah.
The playoff records of the two: Francesco Molinari has played 2 in his career, 1-0, lost 2. I remember he lost 1 to Jimenez at the French Open a couple of years ago. And Jeev Milkha Singh has played 1 and lost 1 as well. So
neither of them have won in a playoff.
Well, what an unexpected turn of events. Birdie, red numbers. It was a real birdie fest all week, but ultimately it was the blue numbers which have contrived to give us this playoff. A birdie from Francesco Molinari forcing that playoff at the last. And for those of you waiting for the Rugby League Challenge Cup semi-final, that is now starting on the red button. And we will be able to go to that here on BBC Two at the conclusion of this playoff. Clearly, we've been with you for 4 days. We don't want to miss the denouement of this championship, so I'm sure you'll stay with us. But for rugby league fans, you are starting over on the red button now.
yes, plenty to enjoy over there on the red button. Plenty still to come here. And it will happen first of all on this dramatic 18th, which is very, very different to the hole we saw in the first few days downwind. But there's the not quite the final tail, but Jeev Milkha Singh. What we do know for Jeev Milkha Singh is that whatever happens in the playoff, he will get the final spot in the Open Championship. Well, there's one from the John Deere Classic in America as well, but Jeev Milkha Singh will be heading to the Open. Mark Warren not getting that, finishing tied 3rd, and after his round, Mark Warren spoke to Hazel.
Mark, our commiserations. An hour ago, 3-shot lead, then you came to the 15th. What went on?
Yeah, it was kind of surreal, really, how easy it all, was yesterday and today up till that point. And missed I was just hitting 3-wood off the tee there, missed it on the correct side, and had a little bit of funny lie. It was kind of underneath the grass. It was long grass. It had been flattened there, and it was kind of underneath that, and couldn't quite get to the bottom of the ball, but. It didn't end up in too bad a place, and pitched on the green at about 15 feet and managed to take 3 putts from there somehow.
And at that point, clearly the magnitude of the situation was hitting you. What was going through your mind at that point? You were still clearly in it and hadn't given up hope, but how scrambled was the brain becoming by that point?
Yeah, obviously I was still ahead. I was a little bit probably shocked with the second shot. And just probably lost a bit of concentration with the putt. It was only a couple of feet or something, and it was just one of those things that happens in golf, I suppose. But yeah, I was pleased the way I performed over the 2 days, and felt had a good start to the back 9, and I felt as calm as I've ever done the golf course, and I felt I didn't think I was going to finish the way I finished, so it was a little bit disappointing.
You had great support obviously all the way around. This is going to have to remain one that got away, but how will you think you reflect upon it in time, Mark?
Yeah, it's definitely always going to be one. It was kind of 17 under is going to be either win it or in a playoff, so it was in my hands with those 4 holes to go in the position I was in. With 3-4 holes to go, it was up to me. Unfortunately, didn't finish off, but it was nice to be back in that position again.
Next time, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, back they go up the hill, and just a moment to tell you about our Open Championship, or the Open Championship, next week starting at Royal Lytham Sands, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, exclusively on BBC, and we're on from 9 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, all 4 days. Well, Saturday and Sunday a bit less than that, but a feast of golf. Youngsters under 16 accompanied by an adult can come in free. There'll be tickets on sale at the gate. It's not a closed shop. They're not saying, oh, 20-odd thousand and that's it. And of course on practice days you get a chance to see the players really get up close and get a few autographs and photos and things. So all the great players will be there, and the Open app's now available. So modern technology creeping in. 5 Live, boys from radio do a super job. It's very difficult talking about golf on the radio. At least we have the luxury of pictures which you can browse over. Now they'll play this hole. Now if they tie again, I'd like to think that they'll drive them back again, but in the past playoffs I've seen, they play the 18th and then they walk back. Now I don't know why they don't drive them down either now, but there we are.
Well, this is how he did it, and what a way we thought after leaving this putt a long way short. Boom, and she went.
It ran in beautifully too. It didn't wobble. It went in at a lovely pace.
Now, do you think it favours either man now? Jeev Milka Singh finished a long time ago. I'm sure he's been out there hitting some balls in case of the eventuality of a playoff. Molinari has just finished with that confidence-boosting putt. He's still in the golfing rhythm.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, you can't do anything about that. That's why they go and hit some balls or do something, try and keep loose, stay in the zone. They use all those expressions that are becoming a bit hackneyed now. On the other hand,
and a reminder for those of you, once again, who are waiting for the Rugby League Challenge Cup semi-final, the second one today. It is starting on the red button, and indeed is about to. So for those of you waiting for that, who'd like to go to that now, please press red, and it will all be before you. And when this playoff is concluded and decided, we've got to see who wins, then we will be handing you over on BBC Two to the Rugby League. But for the moment, let's enjoy this. Who will prevail, the Indian golfer or the Italian?
It's a very difficult, under the conditions, Andrew. This is a genuine 3-shotter, so it's got to be a pitch and a putt, and this could take some time. They go up to the 15th if they have this played again. But the chances of a 4 here, there's only been what, 5 or 6 birdies on this final hole, or 4s I should say, all day.
We need to go on the 18th again, and then we'll do a loop of 15.
Chief referee for the occasion, Andy McPhee, I fancy. They had 3 playoffs between them, and they haven't won 1. Molinari's played in 2.
Jeev Milka Singh lost that playoff to Graham McDowell in Korea 4 years ago.
Good luck.
Molinari has the honour. Has he hit another straight one? Fancy he has. There he is.
The unique swing.
Holds the club above the ground. Nips it away. Deceptively long, isn't he?
It's quite low. That's his first shot in anger for about an hour or so, so good one.
The other playoffs in this championship, we had Neil Coles beating Brian Huggett in 1972. David Fairty, who now lives and works in the United States, beat Christy O'Connor Jr. That was 1986. And Eduardo Ramiro, you remember, beat Freddie Jacobson in 2002. And Gregory Avray beat Phil Mickelson at Loch Lomond in 2007. It's been An interesting group of people. Now they let them walk so that, I presume, people say, oh, you get into the rhythm, you're not playing too quickly. But I've always wondered if the weather's a bit dodgy or the light's a bit short, why they don't help the players get up and down a bit quicker.
Certainly the temperature's falling all the time as well. A little bit of nasty weather in the direction that the wind is coming from. Always the voice of cheatiness.
Yes. Yeah, well, we've had lots of emails. Thank you for those. Far too many to mention everybody, but you'll get another chance if you want to. Send us some next week at the Open Championship, which promises to be very good. The weather forecast doesn't look too bad for next week. Might be a bit scuddy, but some great players on view. The championship always goes down well at Royal Lytham and Stands. It's always mentioned Stands. It's a rather forgotten little part there. People talk about Lytham, but there is a rather like Brighton and Hove. It's a very, very sweet little part of that area. Janet is caddy. She's been with him a long time. They're a very good partnership. Had emails talking about the previous years when this championship was played at Loch Lomond. One or two people wanting to know if the situation there is, what's happening in the situation, and I'm delighted to say, as far as I know, the members managed to take it over and carry on, and it's flourishing. How well it's flourishing, I don't know, but we do wish and hope that it does continue. It's a magnificent club. Yes, it was very private, but there you are.
Now it's almost exactly the same second shot that he faced. He's looking to hit it to the end of the pavilion there.
Well, Francesco Molinari hit a fantastic second shot here about 15 minutes ago. That's exactly what he needs again. Similar tee shot.
Bit left to right, sliding it into the gap.
Very similar. Maybe left himself probably 10 yards longer for his third shot.
He's very good, isn't he? Don't you think the way he just plots his way around? Hardly ever hits one offline. Magnificent driver of the ball.
Well, now this is an interesting decision for Jeev Milkha Singh. Will he lay up further back to give himself an opportunity to play his third in first? It can become a little bit of a mind game now, a tactical game. He's got the long iron out. It's always hard to know if the player who's made up the ground is the one who's going to be favoured in a playoff, or whether it's the one who finishes off and then gets straight back out again. We shall see.
Just on the, that's good. It's a very weird swing, bless him. He never has a practice swing, never has a waggle.
If you saw him warming up and you're about to play him in the club knockout, you'd think, I have this man here, and then you'd end up 9 or 8.
Yeah.
If you got lucky on one hole.
Or, you know, that's your partner in a pro-am, and you think, oh.
The thing about Jeev Milkha Singh, though, he does hit the ball very well, but he's a brilliant putter as well, and I wonder if it might come down to who can hole a putt or two.
Well, he's got his own style, and he's stuck to it over the years. He's into his, you know, he's not a child, not a young fella. He's getting on a bit, but he hasn't really taken his game to pieces and started again. He's used the materials he's been born with, blessed with, and he's made the very most of them. Been plagued a bit with back troubles, but you see, got away to a terrific start. 4 birdies in the first 6 holes, 1 more at the 10th.
And that was the start, really, when the rest of the field was struggling in the first 6 holes. He was picking up more than just the 4 shots he picked up to par. It was getting him 5 or 6 shots on the field.
Yes, his only mistake was that 3 putts from long range at the 16th, when somehow or other he hit his drive onto the green. It was an amazing shot. Now it's all down to a pitch. Well, it's a bit more than the pitch, isn't it? Molinari hit a 6-iron, Phil Parker was saying that first time round.
Actually, on the angle, it might be Molinari first to play, even though Milka Singh hit the iron. A couple of spots of rain, perhaps, as well. Straight into the wind, Molinari.
How's it looking, Phil?
With 2 more.
Where's young Parkin?
Francesco Molinari has just left himself 2 yards further than last time. 133 and 135 now. So pretty much identical shot. It'd be interesting if he goes with a 7-iron and so he gives more of a full swing. Don't forget last time it was a 6-iron and he sort of quit on it and pulled it left.
Yeah. A bit more. 120, there's more than 20 there. Okay, we've called it 140, yeah? Go on in. Get the 140 in your head.
Visualize a shot of 140 yards. That's a little bit of conversation they've had between them. Be firm. An inviting target, isn't it? So you'd think.
Peter, this is exactly the same shot as a 6-iron once again.
That looks better.
Cut. Cut.
Oh, quite a long way off.
Better though, better no doubt than his first attempt at it. Did well to get that back to the flag at least.
I think the odds are just a whisker on Chief Milker now. Although he just blocked out by those bits of grass there, Maureen, isn't he?
Well, he's considerably closer, actually, believe it or not, than Molinari. He's just got 120 to go. But he's on a sort of side hill lie and uphill lie here. So this ball might just flirt up in the air a little bit more than he would like. There's a big gouge out of the front right-hand portion of this green, like a giant bite. And that lower area of the green can sweep anything away that's shortish.
Extraordinary looking shot. But a very good result. Down to putting.
An easier putt for Milka Singh, no doubt about that. He's coming from the right level. Just a reminder again that the Rugby League Challenge Cup semi-final, Warrington against Huddersfield, will start on the red button, and as soon as we finish here, it will hop over to BBC Two and the BBC HD channel. Good old-fashioned stampede there down the 18th to get into position again from the crowd.
Been a very good turnout this week. Well, indeed, there was last week, even though we had foul weather. We played 3 rounds only, so they're getting more than their money's worth this year. Now then, you'll get an opportunity to watch Milka Singh. He'll line up the putt, look at it as much as he wants to, and then he'll come straight up, put the putter behind the ball, fiddle about a bit, cack-handed grip, and then give it a little dab. It's all very much his own routine. You won't find it in any books of instruction. Molinari, on the other hand, has, well, not quite the same line as he had before. It comes in a little bit more from the left. He was more where Singh is, a little bit closer than that on that line.
Now Molinari, what's he facing here?
Well, the good thing that he's just freshly off playing 18 holes of golf, so he's still got a feel for the green. as opposed to Singh. You know, it's a question of how many desserts he's had, and he hasn't been out on the golf course for quite a while, has he? But,
I don't think he'll have had many desserts. He must have known in his heart of hearts that 17 under had a chance if they stumbled, and it's exactly what they did. Molinari holding a 12-15 footer on the last green to tie.
I think he's going to be a little bit more positive than he was certainly over the last 4 holes. It seems to be a little bit quicker, and looks like he's actually going to try and make this one, where that was not necessarily the case in the last 4 holes.
Has he hit? He hasn't hit it at all, has he? Oi, 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 that's dreadful. I think that applause is sympathetic applause. Well, Milka Singh may have 2 chances here. Let's see if we get a good view of his routine here.
Well, he's won 3 times in the European Tour, hasn't won since 2008 in Austria. This is to do so again.
That'll do. What a man. Strike a blow for India. Oh, ho, ho. Wonderful, wonderful display from Dev Milka Singh. A surprise winner. We wouldn't have picked him this morning. He'd have got big odds if we'd been bold enough to have a bet. But he's done it. And on to the Open Championship. Very well played indeed. Only a handful of birdies at this 18th hole today. And what a moment to get one. Scoops the first prize. Well done.
What a wonderful way to win it. Dev Milka Singh wins this Aberdeen Asset Management Scottish Open, and he does so for India. You'll be hearing from the winner, Dev, on the red button. That's where we're going now to conclude our coverage. And don't forget that the Rugby League will be next. And also a reminder that very shortly we're off to Lytham, down the A9 and beyond, for the 11th playing at Lytham of the Open Championship. In the meantime, from the Highlands, it's goodbye.